Yeah.
Yeah, and Ariel, where are you calling from? You're in what country?
I'm calling from Norway.
Norway.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's about
Yeah.
5 p.m. there?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay. All right, very nice. Yeah, well, perhaps we can get started if you'd like, Ariel, just to tell us who you are, what you do, and we're just going to kind of go around the group and introduce ourselves, and then I'll introduce myself afterwards. And if you want to start us off, that'd be great.
Okay, my name is Ariel, and I come from Norway.
Okay.
I'm working as a deck officer on a supply ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
you're in the military then, yeah? Is that right?
not in the military, in the offshore business.
Okay.
We have a lot of oil rigs in the North Sea, so so we're supplying you know, the oil rigs with you know, anything they need.
I get
So,
it. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, good for you. So somebody's being of service to those that look forward to you, I'm sure, coming.
Yeah.
Resupplying their needs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it that is interesting to you about healing? Do you use it in your daily life? Do you have, you know, what experiences have you had in healing?
I had problems with my health almost all my life, and that's why I'm so interested in you know, health issues. I've been you know, tried different modalities in the past, so I'm not unfamiliar with the subject.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm you know, I'm trying to improve myself, so and you know, try new things.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to help myself, and I want to help my family and friends as well.
All right.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
very nice. Can
yeah,
you imagine? I don't know how many guys are on the ships, but when you're out there for a couple of weeks at a time, you could probably help, you know, all kinds of different guys that are out there, huh?
yeah. But I don't think we have the time to do that. So so yeah.
Okay.
But maybe some easy things I can help with, but
Sure.
I'm not sure if they are open to this kind of things. So so
You're
that's
gonna find though that there's gonna be opportunities where you don't even need to be asking them or telling them about anything, but you can improve the situation right where you're at, so you can clearly vote. You know, that would be for everybody.
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, or on the ship, I should say. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome, Ariel. I'm so glad you're here. And how do you say your
Thank
name
you.
again? Pronounce it for me again.
Oren.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
my middle name is Daniel as well. So, but yeah, it's up
Okay.
to you. It's up to you.
Okay. Appreciate that. All right.
Yeah.
Notes here. All right. Okay. So who's next? Who wants to introduce themselves next?
I'll do that. My name is Christine, and I live in Arizona now. My husband and I retired here about 5 years ago. We came from Minnesota up near the Canadian border, so this is heaven on earth to have this nice weather here. We've worked with a spiritual school. We both mentor and teach in a spirituality school, so I hope to use this because in the last couple of years, lifestyle has caught up with me, and so I wanted to improve my own health and a heritage DNA kind of thing that I would like to heal for all my family and then to help those that I mentor. Nice to meet all of you.
Very nice. Christine, we're very similar because I am from Minnesota and I'm living in Arizona. Yeah. So what part of Minnesota? What you said close to the Canadian border?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Minneapolis, and then my husband had a practice in central Minnesota called Little Falls by St. Cloud.
Beautiful.
How
Yeah.
about you? Where did you grow up?
In the Twin Cities area.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
north of the Twin Cities.
I met you on a bus someday, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, so little Anoka, Champlin, in that area in Minnesota.
Sure.
North of the Twin Cities. And then I've been here in Arizona for 26 years next month.
Wow, it's heaven here.
It's heaven. I love it here.
Don't miss the humidity. And my father's whole family is from Norway, so I relate very well.
Okay, great. I have been to United States in different occasions, and have met a lot of people that have Norwegian descent.
Yes, in fact, Minneapolis is the second largest Scandinavian city after Oslo.
Oh.
Minneapolis, St. Paul area.
Yeah. I know. It's a lot of Norwegian descent in Minnesota.
Yeah. You even say it right, Minnesota.
Yeah.
We have Swedish. My father was 100% Swedish.
Okay.
Yeah, South Branch. I guess Soderquist means South Branch in Sweden.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've got the Norwegian Swedish thing going here.
Scandinavian. Yeah.
Well, Christine, very good. I'm so glad to hear. And you have a spiritual school, so you're doing that here in Arizona then too, or was?
Yeah, the school's in Tucson, but we do most of it by the web. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, wonderful. All right, so you're in Tucson. Okay, very good. Nice. Okay, I'm up in the Phoenix area. All right, so Linda, you want to go next?
Okay. Hi, I'm Linda. I'm from New Jersey, but I've been out here in Arizona and for like 36 years. I came out many years ago when they needed teachers, and so I was an elementary teacher. I retired in 2007, but I'm still working with kids, and I'm always trying to help people and myself as well. So I try to improve my health. I'm trying to improve, I'm trying to help people, kind of like my mission in life. So I would love to help my students, my little guys that I tutor that have reading problems, and my family and myself. So.
Well, very good, Linda. Yeah, and kinesiology and muscle testing, right? You mentioning, yeah. So that's very good. And if you're not all familiar with the muscle testing and that, we're gonna go over it too. But that's kind of really just the thing that, as long as you can make yourself familiar with how to do that, that's really kind of the only prerequisite here. But so Linda, yeah, you mentioned being able to help yourself and your family, and with the children that you tutor as well, you this could actually assist them too. So if they're having problems or disabilities in reading or comprehension or whatever, maybe there is some type of energetic element, in their field that you could clear for them, and that could open up a whole different, possibility of them.
I also noticed, some don't not only have the learning problems, they have behavior issues, and I'm hoping that I can help them with that too, because I think that comes hand in hand with their behavior and the learning together.
Yeah, absolutely. The behavior issues. Yeah. Cause that can be, spiritual interference, right? It could be things why they're acting out. It's not even them. A lot of cases. Yeah. Well, very good. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, we've got the trifecta of the Arizona group here. Very good. Okay, so who do we have next? Tracy, are you there?
Can you not see me? I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Yep, I can see you. Hi. Good.
Hi. Nice to see everybody. Well, I'm Tracy. I'm from Pennsylvania, but so I'm close to New Jersey. I don't have a connection to Arizona, but both my parents were from, my dad was born in Minneapolis and he grew up in Excelsior, and my mother was from Wayzata. So, and Marlene, when I first met you, you have a lot of characteristics of my mother, the way you look. And I don't see that very often. It was very striking to me. So yeah, it was very interesting. So I was born in Pennsylvania, but my oldest sister was born in Minnesota. So the whole Minnesota connection, we're getting the whole, they were Swedish, more Swedish background, but, and French and Welsh. So they were mixed bloods, but yeah. So I'm not working currently, and I'm interested in healing. I've done a lot of different healing work over the years, but I have had a lot of different and also chronic health challenges. So life is just, that's the way I seem to be learning everything. So yeah, I'm here to kind of, use this for myself, but I do anticipate using it for others as well. I happen to be going through a big challenge here just recently anyway, with my own emotional health and relationship situations, as Marlene knows. So it's perfect timing for me to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think it is for all of us actually right now. So, good for you, Tracy.
I'm so grateful. Yeah,
we're glad you're here too. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, let's see. What else do we have here this morning? Jan is here too. Jan is a visitor. She is a recent graduate of our level 2 certification. So she is attending today as sitting in with us. I'm not sure if she's available at the moment. She looks like she's muted, but she's going to be just a redo on day 1 today. So, that's Jan. And she has a very successful business already. She's using the tool. She has been for many, many years. So, so we welcome her today and gracing us with her knowledge and presence. So welcome, Jan. Also, we have another student, if you will, and she is in London and she's working at the moment. So she's with the group, but she's going to be accessing the replays. Now, I'm not sure about, I know today and tomorrow, I'm not sure about Tuesday, maybe that as well, but her name's Rosemary. So if she pops on, that's another member of our group, but she does work these hours apparently. So it would be 4 p.m. for her there. So let's see, who else are we? Oh, Sylvia, right?
Yes.
There you are. Okay, it's admin. Okay. Hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm from Switzerland, 63 years old. With 58, I lost my job and didn't find one, so I'm an early retiree now. And yes, I was always interested in health questions and did with, I think I was nearly 30 years old. I did Reiki, I studied Ayurveda, but I never could apply it because the insurance did not pay for in Switzerland. And yes, I have heard some years ago about the quantum field healing, and it interested me very much. And then I came to you, Marlene. And now here I am, yes.
Nice. Very good. Well, we're glad to have you. So you're in Switzerland. Very good. So yeah, we're pulling in energy from all parts of the globe today. This is very interesting and a very unique group, I think. I'm feeling a good vibe already though. However, the energy is feeling just like magnetic, just like we have something good going already. So I like the connection. Okay, so have we got everybody looks like we have, okay. Yeah, so welcome. And I am Marlene Allen, and I am the owner of Your Body Power. And I have, I've been working in energy for many years, full-time for maybe the last 5, I guess you could say, so, you know, steady. That's my only business. Prior to that, I have been in advertising and marketing and online properties and so forth. So, and I still do a little bit of that. I still have my full-time web guy. He's been with me now for over 10 years and so forth. But now he's working exclusively for the business, for what we're doing. And his name is Brian. He's very in tune to what we do. And I believe he's a healer as well. He doesn't really know it, but I believe it. Then I also have another member of the staff. His name is Daniel. So as the middle name of a real healer. His job is to as a virtual assistant and helps with a few things for the team. But my interest in healing was, well, initially I wasn't going to do it this time. I wasn't going to do it this lifetime because I've been persecuted and killed and blah, 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 so many other lifetimes for being a healer that I guess apparently this time I was going to sit it out, but it didn't happen. Didn't happen. Yeah, so many things occurred now that looking back into my childhood that, yes, it wasn't something that was, you know, just consciously spoken about, but there were things that were happening and things that I experienced that could be explained no other way than what the gifts I've already, you know, had brought with me, I believe, from other times. So this, I don't know if you can see a picture behind me. This is my higher self. Somebody painted this picture, is this right here, for me. She's from Sweden, Margarita. She painted it for me and she said, that is your higher self. She saw her. And so she painted it and mailed it to me from Sweden. So wow. Yeah, so she's here with us today. And as all of your higher selves are here, we've invited them as well. So they're all part of the team. We're all part of the same group. And they're here to assist you in your learning and in acquiring your skills, as well as getting your frequency, vibration, attuned and high, you know, raise. We want to increase everybody's frequency here. So that's going to be one of the things that we're going to be doing. They say 700, you know, on the Hawking scale, if you will, of frequency is the level that you want to be at optimally for healing. And some of you are there, some of you are not, but it makes no difference exactly where you're starting because I'm going to increase everybody's frequency. We're going to do an activation on several different things. So you'll see as we go on. Now, part of this day and into the rest of the 3 days, I'm going to be doing activations for you. And these are the things that are going to assist you to become, you know, better able to use your gifts and to speed things up a little bit. So anybody can pretty much do this, but it could take, you know, hours to do the same thing that, you know, I can probably do in a minute, right? So, so this is a practice. So the more time you spend doing the practice, the better you're going to get and the faster you're going to be at being able to clear things quickly. Okay, so that's the key really, because when I started, it was, now I have a certification, few different certifications, but they're hanging up here. But things moved slower then, it seemed. You know, like, okay, you wanted to do a clearing. Well, that could take 4 hours to do that one thing. So now how am I going to be serving clients if it's going to take me 4 hours to clear one one thing, you know, so that didn't set well with me. No, we've got to help more people. 4 hours, that's not right. So, so getting things to release quickly. That's what, you know, that was my key, is how can I get this to work quickly? So that's what I did. And checking on things, you know, going back and just say, you know, well, did that clear? That cleared pretty quick. Is that clear? Yeah, it's clear. So sometimes I had to, you know, come back and say, boy, I'm really, you know, I need to make sure that this is, you know, effective and comprehensive. This whole clearing is, you know, where it needs to be, as well as quickly, you know, done as fast as possible. So, so that's where you're going to see the path for you too, is to do this. The more you use it. Okay, so and it helped me.
You're breaking up, Marlene?
Yeah, breaking up. Uh-oh, froze now.
Yeah.
You're frozen, Marlene. There's a chat box. We can tell her maybe, or tell her assistant.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Is it a chat box there?
Yeah, it's at the bottom. You can see under chat.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we try turning off our videos for just a minute, and then that might help her get connected.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Along the bottom, you could, if you don't know, are you looking for the chat or the video? All the indicators are there.
Yes,
No,
mine's at the top.
okay, yeah, I can see it.
There you go. Yeah.
No, it disappeared.
So it looks like she took herself off and is going to come back in. So we'll just wait a minute and then she'll show up again. She must have had connectivity issues.
Yeah.
Interferences already, apparently.
Yeah. That's strange. She should be back by now.
Yeah.
Oh, she's back.
Okay, I'm on my other computer. I'm still in the same room. Just moved from that one to this one. Not sure what happened there, but thanks for hanging in there. And let's check my connection here. Looks like we're all kind of check my volume. Yeah, it was turned on. Okay. All right. So then, yeah. So there could be energies that don't want this information to come out, right? So more people to have it, right? So that's an interesting thing to ponder. But so I'm going to clear the connection, the Zoom connection. Now there's, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions, who knows, people that are on Zoom right now, and using the video platforms more than ever before. So I've noticed that there's some issues occasionally now with Zoom that weren't there before. But also there's a lot of discarnate energies in the connection too. So that's a good indication that we could start clearing the Zoom connection. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, interference, doesn't it, Tracy? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting here too. So I guess now I'm gonna have to pull everything up on this computer here, but that's okay. So I was looking at a video pulled. So let's send it to myself. Over here. But yeah, I've been working in energy now with clients for several years, and this is what I find by working on a daily basis, is that things just get more interesting, and my skills get better and better every single day. And the more that I'm, oh, my videos, is my video?
Tracy.
No.
Your audio's off too. Your audio too. Here you are.
She was talking, yeah. She was messaging me, yeah.
Yeah, and you can turn yourself on mute anytime you like, and and if you have to get up, go to the bathroom, whatever, you can stop your video. It doesn't matter, whatever you need to do. We're going to take a break, here in another hour or so, but just feel free to get up and do what you need to do. Get some, and have some water to drink with you today. There's going to be a lot of clearings. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But yeah, so I've noticed that the more that I work with people, the more things start coming up, and the more challenges that I get as well. So at a certain point, you're real comfortable, like doing the, oh, I got that, I got that, I got that. But then you get somebody, it's like, oh, I don't got that. All right, now I got to start researching and going in and really digging into this one. So it's just like any other job or career I've ever had. There's always something that comes up like, oh, okay, haven't done this before, haven't looked at it like this before, but now I'm going to have to, just dive in and do some research. And it always seems to be that the session works its way out because the other person or the other person's higher self is communicating that what this issue is. And so it's like dropping it in my lap saying, hey, look at this, look at that. So even though you may not even feel that you're receiving that, you're thinking, okay, I probably won't hear that right away, or maybe you do. But even if you don't think you do, you're getting it. A lot of times they're telling you what it is and where to go. So what you want to do then is you're asking the other person's higher self to give you the information. So our bodies are filled with the information. We have all the information. We just have to ask for it. So the information, we bring it in with us every lifetime. We bring it into the body, download it. It's actually in the spine, like the column of discs, right? That's really where our information is stored. We bring it in, it's all in the disc. And so we can tap into the information that we're asking for. So we're working on a particular person. Maybe it's a family member. You want to, work on family members as your case study, for example. Then you would ask that family member's higher self to assist you in finding, where should I start first, right? So should I look at the energetic? Should I look at the mental? Should I look at emotional or physical? Where should I go? And then their body, you're going to get the information, or you can do the muscle testing and just say, is it spiritual? No. Is it mental? Yes. Okay, so we'll start in the mental. So now do I need to, and then we'll give you the protocol of what to ask and what to check for next. But you'll find that you're going to get your information. Okay, so just know that that information is there, and the other person came to you for help, or, you know, has agreed to be your case study. So we are, we've already got, you know, an okay pretty much going on, and the other person's higher self is now going to be all willing and, you know, ready to hand you what it is that you need. So I find that it's like, you're not in this by yourself. You're not sitting there going, oh no, I can't remember what I was taught about this particular issue. What do I do now? You're just going to trust that the other person's higher self is going to, you know, give you the answers that you're looking for. You just have to ask though, right? So you're going to need to ask, but you will get the information. Now, we're also going to be doing a clearing around intuition and inner vision. So, so there can be things, and there's things that have blocked people's inner vision and intuition. So we're going to do some clearing around that too. So that can become more, you know, that's a learned skill too. So it's not just something that you're just born with, right? You just have to use it, and it just gets better and better and better and better the more you use it. So I recommend doing this daily, doing this practice daily, and you know, putting in the time every day to do certain clearings. Now, even if that means just clearing yourself, right? So you're going to check your life force every day. You're going to check your chakras every day, your energy centers, and see where you're at. If you have a lowered reading in a certain area, well, then that's going to give you clues to what to look for and what the problems may be. So if you have a compromised heart chakra, for example, you're not getting 100%, you know, everywhere, but certainly the heart chakra, maybe that's at 30%. Like, okay, what's going on here? Why is my heart chakra at 30%? Well, you know, you could look at physical issues like, how's my heart? How's my lungs? You know, carpal tunnel, okay, because arms are an extension into this heart center too, right? So you could be looking at all kinds of different things physically, but maybe did you just have a difficult phone call with your mother, or, you know, a family member or something like that, and then just all these emotions, you know, tanked your energy in this area. So so it's the awareness then, is that becoming aware of everything really, and how it's all connecting, and how it all brings a result to your physical body, and what you're experiencing, and how you are experiencing life, and how you're processing and responding to life. Hopefully not reacting to life. Responding is the more correct way to do it. So being aware and being non-emotional about what we're looking at or what's coming up. And that's the key too, is just be totally no agenda with anything. Okay, so even if it's a family member, it's maybe a little bit harder in certain cases, because you have this vested interest in that person be well. But if it's a client that you don't know as well, it's more of a level playing ground. At that point, you're not as invested as, you know, wanting or needing that person to get well, if it's a family member. But so sometimes it's easier to start with somebody you don't know, because then it's like, I don't care what the answer is, right? I mean, you care that the person feels good and so forth, but it's not like you have, you know, another agenda tied to it, right? So just knowing that those things can, you know, try to present themselves as a challenge to you. But it's once you know that your answers can be accurate, and we're going to clear muscle testing and so forth too, then you will be able to assist not only yourself and family members to accurately. And then also we're going to look at working with clients as well. So, and then getting your business online too. So if you're interested in doing that, I have some information to share with you. I'm probably on the third day around that. So yeah, I've had issues. I've had many different issues, mostly around, you know, being diagnosed with nervous system problems, and they stemmed like multiple sclerosis, for example. I was diagnosed with that. How long ago was that? About 20 years ago or so. Yeah, about 20 years ago. And I didn't believe it. I just did not believe that. And, you know, something in me said, no, that's not correct. However, I had issues, like the side of my face went numb for 10 days. So of course they put me through the whole, you know, what is it, MRI, you know, that donut thing. You got to go in and, you know, and different tests and so forth. And they're saying, yeah, they all come back saying, yes, you have MS. Well, I had maybe MS-like symptoms. Yes, I did for sure. And turns out now, looking at it, that it was virus related. And that was in my nervous system and causing problems. Right? So it's not that your body is attacking itself. It does not. So if anyone's ever telling you like autoimmune, or, you know, your body just doesn't know its, you know, self from non-self, that's nonsense. Your body is very intelligent and knows exactly what it's doing. So if there's issues, if there's things going on, like an autoimmune type response, or a, you know, a rheumatoid arthritis or MS or something like that, we're not going to say, oh, it's the body's fault, it's your fault, you know, blame it on the patient. It's, you know, it could be viral related, right? It could be that there's something else going on in there that we need to check for, because the body is maybe, yes, it's inflamed. You know, maybe you've got the inflammation going on, but that means it's fighting something. It's fighting off something. It's not fighting you itself. It's fighting something else, right? So these some things sometimes don't come up on blood tests. They don't come up and maybe the doctors, they don't even know what they're looking for. So they don't even do tests to find other things, because it hasn't been, the scientific community hasn't been able to, you know, either A, provide the answers, or B, they're not being received. And they're certainly not getting into the textbooks and what they're studying, or maybe they just don't have time to see each patient. You get 10 minutes. You're not going to sit there and go into a deep dive on, oh, well, it's not in the book, so what could it be, right? Most physicians aren't going to do that. Now, of course, I can't speak for everybody, and there are some very good, I have a very good naturopath who's interested in looking for answers, right? And there's some functional medicine doctors out there that are also have broken off from the MD thing and going into their own practices, who are real skilled at looking at core issues and reasons for why things are the way they are. So, so just to kind of give you a little background, you know, if there's any doubts, if you have, if you're wondering if, you know, is this going to work for me, or, you know, maybe I'm just not as skilled as some other people are. Maybe I'm not as intuitive. I don't have, you know, natural gifts. This is just put it all aside. Okay. Put it all aside and just know. Okay. Just get into the knowing. Just know that you are here to do good things. This is why you're here today. Okay. So you are going to come away from here being a healer. Right? You will. So you're gonna, from what you are right here to where you're gonna be at the end of the third day is gonna be totally, totally, what is it? 180 degree difference. So, and I want to encourage you to ask your questions. We have a small enough group that I wanted to kind of keep it in this number of people, so that we have able to ask questions and feel that you can participate and get the, you know, a good reply to what your question is. And I don't want you to think that you have a stupid question, because they're not. None of your questions are going to be taken that way. I just want you to know that anything that comes up, you know, maybe I've even actually thought of that myself already a long time ago. So same for a lot of people. They start in the same area, but revelations come in, breakthroughs come through. Like, oh, is that why that happened? Wow, I can see it now, right? And so clarity starts beginning too. Things then that didn't make sense maybe, or you didn't even really think about, some things just start coming clear, or you're getting more insights that's just coming through, or wisdom. So once you can open up your crown chakra, for example, and start receiving information, and then just asking for the information, right? So if you don't know it, you don't know what to do, just ask, right? Just ask your higher self, hey, provide me this information. I'm real open to getting this information. I'm willing to receive it right now. And so that's the word there too, is willing. Just got to be willing, right? You don't have to be ready or able, just willing, okay? So as long as you're willing to learn something new or learn more about what it is that we're going into today, that's really the key. But just to let you know, I don't have MS. I did not have MS. I just had those MS-like symptoms. And so other people could be coming to you that have some problems, and it may seem like they're just way out of, like, whoa, I can't cure MS. What am I doing? What am I thinking here? That's not true. That's not true. I cured whatever it was that I had, okay, and you can too. So arthritis, my knees, I could barely, walk, right? So that can all go. You don't have to accept that, right? So what was in my knees, what was going on? Well, root chakra area, right? So everything down there. So you're going to look at different areas and put the pieces together, but we're going to get into all of that here. So I guess we're 45 minutes into it. So I think we have plenty to go on right here. I'm going to send that from that computer over here. And we'll start in. Now I did send some materials for you in an email yesterday, and
welcome to Finding Fulfillment, Passion, and
Purpose. What I'll do is share the screen. So if you watch that one, that was great. So you have the power. You have the power in you. And this is the thing, is to becoming empowered. That's one of the key things that I'm really a proponent of, being empowered, being 100% everything that you're capable of being, to experience that. That's what I know for you, that you can, and that you will be having some real great experiences with this and getting the information that you need. So I'm going to play some videos, and it's the stuff that I want to be talking to you about anyway. So I've already put it in a video, so I might as well just play it for you so we can all watch it together and we won't miss anything that way. I will be pausing periodically throughout the video, and then we'll be doing the clearings or the activations or whatever it is that the exercises that's we're talking about in the video. So let's get going with this one. And I'm going to be pausing, like I said, here occasionally and doing the actual exercises, but just to kind of give you a background or what it is that get this information. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen with, yeah, so that's, yes, here. Okay, maybe theater mode. Here we go. All right, so that's better. Okay, so any questions, you can put them in the chat box. And then if you do have to, like I said, if you feel free to get up, get water, go to the bathroom, whatever you need to do. And there will be, this is being recorded. Yes, okay, just checking it. Yes, I don't think the recording actually even stopped when we went down. So anything that you have questions on too, you can put it in the chat box and I'll be looking at that as well. But let's start.
Transformative Quantum Healing and Training with Marlene Allen, Module 2, Your Connection Power. Soul's home. There are 7 levels of consciousness and layers of self. Let's connect the layers. Let's do an activation to connect all these layers. So right now, see your consciousness as an orb of energy, sliding up and down a shining cylinder of light that surrounds your spine. And this cylinder beams all the way down into the center of Mother Earth and shoots all the way up to the source of your creation, or your creator self. There is a bright cord from the 0-point center of source coming through this cylinder, through the center of the head, the pineal gland in the center of your head, and down the spine, connecting every layer of you, continuing through the earth and out the other side, connecting this communication loop back up to source. So we are kept in the loop, getting information from a trusted, reliable source through the 0-point cord of communication. So let's ask, who do you listen to? The masses listen to TV, the news, which is broadcast in the frequency of fear, getting their information from something called the AP. It's a wire, it's around 4 a.m., and it gets sent to every major news outlet, TV, radio station, and newspaper in the United States. Maybe other places. I've seen it at a major daily newspaper I worked at while in advertising for many years. But where does that information come from? Does anybody question it or just take it as fact? So let's take a minute now and let's ask ourselves, where do you get your information? Who do you listen to? Okay, welcome back. If you said your intuition or higher self or your guides, you would be getting more accurate information than if you listened to the TV news. So what did you come up with? Hopefully it was yourself. The soul's home is a golden orb inside the pineal gland, consisting of 7 floors or levels of consciousness and layers of self. So let's do an activation to receive the information that you desire. Right now, ride your orb of energy, gliding up the 0-point cord through the cylinder of light. It is your unique soul's essence that surrounds your spine. You can visualize this as a glass elevator car, if you'd like, being pulled up by a cable through the beautiful crystal cylinder of light, illuminated from the creator self. Put your awareness here often and receive the information that you desire. You can do this at any time. Nice. Okay, so let's go for a ride. So we are going to imagine what it feels like. Okay, so, and what it looks like. All right, so let's try this ourselves. Let's start out and we're going to say, let's just say 0. So we're going to be talking about the 0-point energy here when we say 0 instead of saying the whole phrase. Okay, so just say 0. And let's bring your awareness to the center of your chest. So inside is the silver orb with the cord shooting down out of the floor to the center of the earth and up through the roof to creator self, to the 7th level of your soul home. Now say, I now align to my cylinder of light and see the light from your creator self coming down. Let's get attuned to that creator self. We'll go through all 7 layers. Very nice. Now, let's do an activation to become your creator self. Let's bring our awareness to your cylinder of light and say, Creator Self, take me to my soul home. You rise to the center of your head and arrive at your control central. From here, you'll see life from the eyes of your Creator Self, or any other layer of yourself, or another person if you are working for a client, for example. The seventh layer is the golden orb sphere of light in your Creator Self's head. Here, you become your Creator Self. And this self lives outside this reality, on the soul plane, who can transform your dreams into existence. So the layers of your soul, let's take a look at them. 7 layers. First, we have the physical layer. Then we have the emotional body layer, the mental body layer, the astral layer, the God layer, the matrix layer, and the creation room. So layer 1 is your physical layer. So let's just take a step back here and let's go a little bit deeper here. So you are a creator self, or you can call it your higher self. A lot of people call it the higher self. So higher self or creator self, it's the same thing. And that stands outside your soul home. Okay, the creator self is outside your soul home. So having created everything in it, only taking a piece of itself to live inside it. Okay, and that has amnesia that you actually created, right? So you are that piece, that higher self, that chip off of itself. So you can switch back and forth between the observer outside your soul home and your human creation inside of the home, and create the fullest expanded life that you can envision. So this is the purpose here of this training, and this portion of this training, and the layers that we're going to be going through are going to help you do just that. So we're going to create the fullest expanded life that you can envision. So layer 1 is the physical layer. So here we're programmed to find our most basic needs, food, shelter, survival, etc. So the I just want to feel good level, that's where we're at, right? So this is the way we experience the world through our 5 senses. And the only way, that we can get grounded is through the body, right? So we experience life through the physical body. So this physical layer is very important, and it's how we're going to ground ourselves to our experience here. Now, another layer is the emotional body layer. So here we're considered weak if we visit here much, right? So we've avoided it, living in our head most of the time, stuffing feelings, under the rug, right? So until we just kind of like bust out of our physical bodies, right, at the scene. So, but this is a very important layer that we're going to want to address, and we will be addressing, so get comfortable with it. Now, layer 3 is the mental body layer. It's also the divine mind and intuition, which is referred to by many as your higher self. So most people live in these first 3 layers, and awoke people also kind of hover in the 4th layer, the astral. And these 4 are what we experience in our earth human bodies in the 4th dimensional reality right now. So it's where we're aware that we're really spirits in human bodies, and where we communicate with transition spirits here in the 4th layer, the astral. And then when large, eventful experiences leave an impact big enough for us to start questioning what we know for sure. Now the 5th layer is our God layer. It's in the 5th dimension. So it's past Earth and the inhabitants of this universe. So to energy and soul, where our connection to our own individual aspect of source energy lives. This is the broken off piece of source that you became to experience life. So some people consider this to be heaven, but this layer is still just a created version of God. So therefore, it's not going to be perfect, right? You're not going to find perfection. So the 6th layer, for pure truth, we want to go to your 6th layer, the matrix layer. And here we can see pure energy and pure frequency, pure sound and pure color. Here there's a grid that gets programmed into our consciousness, surrounded by an awareness bubble. The silver cable comes from this layer. And to reprogram the subconscious and the other layers of the mind, we want to call upon the pure essence of an emotion, or ask to experience frequencies like love or joy in pure form. Do that from that layer. Now, layer 7 is more of an observation deck. It overlooks and perceives life through the eyes of, you can perceive life through the eyes of anyone or anything that your higher self has created. So you created your own life from here. And this is where you can access Source most directly from, too. Source provides the energy that your 7 layers need to live, and is the big, sunny, golden orb shining down through the center of your mind, the pineal, and illuminating all your layers. Now, since 2012, we've been living in 4D, right, the 4th dimension. Prior to then, we were living only in the first 3 layers. Now we've added this 4th layer, while others have intended to go beyond. So I was jolted personally into the 4th layer when my then new husband stopped breathing in his sleep and died. I went into shock for several months and tried to avoid the deep pain with alcohol, right? So at that time, many, many years ago, I noticed I started perceiving life differently than most people I knew. And after a few breakthroughs, I moved past that and into the other layers. And we're going there for you now, too. So we're going to train you to incorporate these 7 layers in your daily life, to be connected, to call on your creator or higher self at any time, to actually go into these layers anytime and use them to perfect all of these extrasensory gifts that you're being opened up to. You'll now be able to change your life in miraculous ways, and you'll never get thrown off or be, pulled around by trauma dramas, and you'll be able to consciously choose which layer that you want to be on at the moment. We'll fine-tune your energy system so that you'll be at a higher frequency of vibration or resonance. So we'll do clearings of your physical energy and that have been keeping you from hearing what you want to hear, or resonate to things you really don't want to resonate with. So when you're directly in touch with your guides and the layers of your soul, then it's not as easy for spiritual interference to come through. These attach to the energy field and can influence your thinking or behavior. And you can now have a discernment to know who do you listen to. Very important. Okay, so let's do an activation here for expansion to resonate with the peeps. Okay, these are very, very high vibrational peeps. They come from many, 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 many dimensions out. We'll say past 10, okay? So, and this will give us an idea of the feeling, how it feels to have a higher expanded frequency. So you can stay there if you want to, although you don't have to. And this is a permanent reset to connect you to an expanded aspect of yourself. So when you get to about 700, let's talk about the frequency vibration scale. If you're looking at a scale, 0 to 1,000 is the Hawkins version. You may have seen that. And on there, there's a 700. And that's when you start to develop, you may have seen in the Bible pictures of Jesus and others that have a halo on their head, around their head. And these are, this is like a golden halo. So when you get to around 700 on this frequency scale, this golden halo starts showing up with enlightened mastery. Okay, so that's when they become visible, energetically visible. Some people can see them, most people can't. But so that's 700 on that David Hawkins power versus force scale. So he had said 600 was joy, 500 was unconditional love, and 700 enlightened mastery, and 1,000 he knows as Christ consciousness. So at about 700, about 7 of these halos or rings light up, and that's enlightened mastery. So here, you're now aware, and you're mentoring and guiding other human beings. So that's when the rings show up, is when you are now ready to mentor and guide other humans. Before that, you don't have the rings, you're not ready, right? Others are not definitely there, and they're not ready to assist other people at this time. But that is what we're here to do, and that is what we're going to be lifting us up to at least 700 for sure, and getting these rings and being the enlightened master and be able to mentor and guide other humans. So they provide the ability to help others. And we look to people needing wisdom to not misuse their power. Right? So my intention is to bring on at least 3 of these rings for everybody. Okay, so increasing the frequency of vibration is a sign of health. Physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, energetically, and things start working for you in all areas of your life. This is what happens when we work on, for example, the adrenals and the thyroid, releasing toxins, impacted memories, emotions, chemicals, etc. So when the cells are less dense, the frequency increases. And I do get people into the 700 to 1,000 range and beyond all the time. So it's using quantum entanglement. You can look that up. It's a real thing. It's a scientific term, quantum entanglement. So that means that you're able to assist others by having this higher frequency. You're able to assist them and bring them up as well. So, for example, the percentage of an organ or a gland function tends to decrease over time and with lifestyle and so forth. And I see it start to decline in people's 30s, right? And this is what we're working on for you by removing what doesn't belong in the cells and by optimizing your energy body to increase the percentage of that organ or gland function to avoid illness and disease. They could be vital for decades to come. I see people turn the corner all the time. Hair starts growing back, more energy, easier menopause, sleep and sex drive returns, balanced hormones that control a lot of normal functions, decreasing or eliminating supplemental hormones, etc. So to do a quantum activation now, the reason this works is because we're going into the quantum field and we're accessing the pleasure field or the higher frequency field, which allows us with our mind to set an intention, and then with our hands we can use to tap into that quantum energy to access that higher frequency field and rearrange the particles.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. And so I did send you a video clip of hand movement. I think I just did the basic, and I call it like a swirl. So this is going to assist you. It keeps your intention where you set it, right? So you can start by using the hand movements. You don't have to use them after a while. It just seems to be a great place to start for most people. So if you watch that clip, you probably saw, my hand moving something similar to this. And I don't know if you can see it, whatever, from your perspective, but it just kind of like, I don't know if you know what a swirl looks like, but just kind of, that's what I do. I just kind of see the energy, and you're tapping into the quantum field this way, right? So this is one way you can tap into the quantum field. So, and some people feel it by using different movements, with their hands. So however it feels for you, it's not real like this. It's not like all like that. You're not all over. It's just real subtle, very subtle, where you can just actually feel it when you're in the groove, right? Just like, whoa, I can feel this. I can feel it, right? It's just similar to like, the exercise when you do this and then you can feel that energy there. Same thing, but you're not just doing electricity. We're actually going into the quantum. So you can just practice this throughout the whole 3 days of training. And by doing this, you're intending now, you're going to be putting your intention for what you're doing, tapping into the quantum, and you're going to be putting your intention on what it is that you're looking to achieve or to clear. So for right now, we're doing an activation to raise your frequency of vibration. So I'm getting that the average of the group is like 450. So so we're going to be bringing that up. So first of all, we're going to go to 700, and then we're going to go beyond. So let's just check. And I'm doing this for you, but you can be doing this and assisting yourself right now too. So so if you just be doing something similar to this, with the intention now that you are increasing your own frequency of vibration. Okay, so 480, we're up to 480 as an average. Now you may be higher, so I'm not bringing anybody down or anything like that. But I've connected the group right now, and we are getting the frequency higher. Now there is a clearing that I'm doing around having your frequency higher. So I'm already doing that clearing for everybody as well. So just so you know that that's there's many things that can be in the way of having your frequency increased. And those are the things that I'm getting out of the way for you right now. And I will be sharing with the charts that some I've already sent for today. So you'll see how to do these clearings yourself and what you're looking at to clear. But for right now, I'm just going to, for a sense of you know, getting everything ready for the day and for the training for the 3 days, just doing this part of it for you to get everybody's frequency higher. So I'm going to be continuing to do this as we're listening to the rest of the video. You can be doing this yourself with that intention of increasing. So 450, 60, 70, 80, 90, we're up to 500 now as a group. So I'm gonna continue, and you can continue too.
Okay, to get that, I'm gonna say it one more time. We're going into the quantum field and accessing the pleasure field, or that higher frequency field, which allows us with our mind to set an intention, and then with our hands to tap into the quantum to access that higher frequency field and rearrange the particles. So that's what we're doing. We're not doing an energy healing. We're actually in control of our own particles, and we're rearranging them so that they work better for you. Okay, so your assignment is to maintain the ability to be in resonance to the high frequency energies so that you can listen to the activation and use it regularly. So let's do that right now. Let's take a moment, and I'm going to bring everybody's frequency up, and we are going to turn on at least three rings. We're going for higher than that actually, but for you right now, let's go ahead and do that. Very nice. Okay, welcome back. And since the 2012 shift, you have access to many gifts now, such as clairvoyance, channeling, intuition, remote viewing, and more. So it's up to you to develop them and manifest your life's purpose. Or you could avoid them with substances. Many people do that. So things that you want can now begin coming to you. Synchronicities appear out of nowhere. And you can become the creator of your reality, manifesting resources that you require. Attract a love match, for example, or heal yourself or others. Anything is possible. Just know that. You don't have to question or, well, why is that? Well, we're going to explain a lot of this to you, but just for now, just know that anything is possible. Okay, now, here's the tip. Let's journal what comes up. Okay, and anything that we're doing here, take out your journals and circle back and follow your shifts and breakthroughs, and then circle some more. So anything that comes up for you, any type of feeling that, or thought that you're having, or something that's coming up or out. It could be an old emotion. It could be anything, whatever it is, whatever you're feeling, that's something notable. Write it in your journals. So connecting your subconscious with your genius mind. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do an activation here. Let's breathe in and out through your nose while bringing your awareness to your heart center. Now say, I am now my genius mind. Bright silver orb drifts down into your head. Bring your awareness there. As you breathe, the orb increases in size around your head. Now say, I command my subconscious mind to connect with my genius mind. And my ego and intellect, step aside now. I am safe and I can handle this. I appreciate you, but honor my request. Thank you. So a lot of times the ego and intellect will get in the way. They're very serious, everything's taken very serious with the ego, and believes it needs to be in charge or you're going to get hurt, right? So it's great. I mean, it comes in handy, and you need the ego. We cannot just get rid of it because it does assist us in cases. But in this situation, it cannot be in charge. All right, so you want your genius mind here, and you want to be in your genius mind. You don't want the ego to be involved here with keeping you safe somehow by not allowing you to step into your own genius. Right? So that is something that you can do at any time to connect your subconscious with your genius mind. So here's an exercise. It's called automatic writing. So what you're going to want to do is get a pen and then ask a question. And then we're just going to start writing whatever comes, okay? Writing your answer. Write something, and just don't sit there, even if it's nothing. Even though you can't think of a thing. We're not trying to think here. We're just actually sitting and we're just going to sit here and start breathing, relaxing breaths. And then with our pen in hand, we're just going to ask a certain question. Whatever it happens to be, and whatever happens to come up, just start writing. It doesn't matter if, what you had for breakfast comes up. Okay, then write it, okay? Like 2 eggs, whatever, just start writing. Sitting there, not doing anything, is stifling this process, okay? The automatic writing is not going to start up if you refuse to begin to write. So you can think, well, this is silly. I'm not going to write 2 eggs. That just doesn't sound, well, but that's the point, though, is that you're starting. You start there. So you can cross off the 2 eggs later, whatever, but at least you started the process. Your hand has started to move. You have started to write something, and that's the point. The next thing you could be thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, maybe if you're going to be thinking about, I've got this nice salad or whatever. Well, okay, fine. You can continue on that way, but at a certain point, that's not going to be answering your question. So the question then is what you're going to just feel whatever comes up. The new stream of consciousness will come through. So keep writing, and you'll feel information come up that didn't come from your human personality. And you'll find that some of your answers will feel like genius to you. So let's do this now. Let's ask, get your pens, get your journal. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, if you're not already. Let's stop it.
Okay, how are you doing? Did look at Tracy go. Did some interesting things come up that you had not considered were in your brain a minute ago? Does anybody have any information they want to share? Something that they don't have to tell us what came up, but just something that they may have gotten from the exercise.
I'm a little bit not sure if it's my ego talking or my higher self.
Oh, okay. Well, does it seem logical?
Come again?
Does it seem like it's real logical, the information that you got? Is it all from your left brain, just all logical things that you wrote down?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Not sure.
If that's the case, then you need to spend a little bit more time, and that's all it is. Because at the beginning, you're going to get things from your logical left mind. You may get your ego coming in, your intellect, your logic, and especially males too, because that's how they operate a lot of times, is through that left brain, that logical thinking. So it may take just a little bit extra time just to sit there and just keep writing. At a certain point, you get a breakthrough. And, you can make, say, a list of 100 things. And you may think, I can't come up with 100 things. Well, maybe you can't logically come up with 100 things. But that's when once you get to number 20, you're like, well, I'm tapped. I don't have any. Well, wait a second. Just write 21, even if it sounds silly. Write 22, even if it sounds silly. 23, 24. By the time maybe 25, 26, now you're starting to get things. Things are coming like, oh, okay, I guess there's a couple more. Okay, some more. So you just have to sit with it and continue with it. So if you're having a question at any time that you're pondering that is not coming to you, you're just not getting the answers. It's like, oh man, I wish I knew what to do here. I just don't know what to do. Well, that's when it's a good time to sit down and just start asking. Please give me some clarity. Higher self, I'm willing and open right now to receive the information. I'm going to write it out as you give it to me, and then just go. So you may have to go somewhere quiet, sit by yourself, and do this, but you will get some answers. And it's just that tactical, using the hand with writing on a piece of paper and a pen. This I find is the best way to get that information. It's more of a creative way, I guess. Now I have done it typing on the computer, and I can do an article like that, and the information will come through while I'm typing. It just seems to be more will come when I'm writing it with my hand, with my pen, right? So of course now I have to translate what I've got on my paper to my computer if I want to write it out, but I find that it does work the best that way. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. And we just didn't spend only maybe 5 minutes here, but yeah, you can take more time.
Are you doing it as a daily exercise, or
It can be until you're more comfortable with getting your answers from high self. I would suggest to do this, yes. Because you're now involving a piece of yourself that you haven't been perhaps involving in your day-to-day life before, and now you're inviting it, right? So you're asking. I am asking this information. As a matter of fact, I'm not only asking, I'm demanding to get my answers. I require my answers today. This is a very pressing situation. I require to get accurate information. I am willing and receiving right now. My pen's ready. Let's go. And you can be nice, of course, and talk kindly, but you're demanding the information. This is something that is due you. You deserve it, right? So yes, daily would be good, at least to get a feel for and this is the thing too, is that first off, maybe you want to do through a little daily ritual of getting your chakras balanced, and we'll go over chakras, I think, tomorrow. You know, getting yourself into alignment with yourself, right? Because we don't want to be talking to, or not knowing who we're talking to. And so you can go back to what we showed earlier, getting in touch with your genius mind, you know, aligning yourself, feeling that you're, you know, totally aligned, dropping that grounding cord, you know, to ground yourself. You can actually go outside. You can sit in a chair, put your feet on the earth. It's called earthing or grounding. And all of these electrons from the earth can go up the bottoms, the soles of your feet. So there's a spot on the bottom of our soles of the foot that actually suck in all of these electrons, and they're healing. It's wonderful energy. It's some electricity, if you will, but it's a healing and to the whole body. And if you can do this daily, half an hour would be wonderful. Now they have healing pads, you know, that you can ground by putting a wire on this pad and putting it outside your window into the ground or earth. They also have some other ways to do this, but actually just getting outside, putting your feet on the ground. With the rubber soles on the shoes that we have nowadays, we've been cutting ourselves off from this grounding, right? And because of that, when this happened, we have, as a whole, our nation, well, everybody in the world, I guess, who's wearing rubber shoes nowadays, which is almost everybody, 90%, I guess, is not getting the beneficial energies anymore from the earth. We're cut off. We're up here in our heads. Nobody's, I mean, a lot of people are just walking around in their bodies, but they don't feel themselves. They don't know what's happening in their body. They're just all in their head. Their spirit is hovering up around here. And this is where a lot of people are living, right? And they sit glued in front of the TV. Now they got all this other mental energy coming through, and they're just, you know, no longer grounded or in touch with themselves or getting, you know, their accurate information from source. So sitting grounded is an excellent thing to do every morning, every day, if you can get outside and do that. If it's a little cold, maybe just leave socks on or something, or like a moccasin, like a leather sole to the shoe. Like I have a pair of moccasins. I love those. I can go outside in them or whatever. So that would be good too. But doing that, you'll notice a difference. Your energy will instantly shift, and it just feels wonderful afterwards. So then doing that, maybe while you're sitting outside doing that, taking the journal and asking those questions while you're in that state would be beautiful. Okay, so then you're, feel yourself like a grounding root coming out of the base of your root chakra and going into the center of the earth. And you can see it actually connecting, like there's a crystal grid in the earth. So you can see your root connecting to that crystal grid. So now you're solidly grounded, and you're getting all this information, all of the beautiful healing energy is now coming up from the Mother Earth and filling your body, it's feeding you this beautiful energy that you require. It's like a nutritional requirement really for the body. So we're getting that coming in from up through the feet. And then we're also now connecting to source. So you can see, you know, also sending this cord, this beautiful light cord up to source. Okay. And then imagine all this beautiful energy, this gold God healing energy coming down that cord and coming into the crown, coming and filling up every little piece of your insides, right? So now you're feeling this healing energy coming through your crown, neck, shoulders. Now it's coming all the way into your arms, going out to every single fingertip. Feel it now coming through your chest, your solar plexus, down through the belly, feeling it coming down into the belly, the sacral area, into the hips, now into the first chakra, coming down further. Okay, lowering a little bit more. Now we're into the knees. This energy is going through the shins, down your ankles, into your feet, and into every single little toe. Filling up all areas now so you can feel what it feels like to be inside your body. Okay, and so from that space, now you're connected. You're totally grounded and you're connected to your source. So you have the energies right now in your favor, right? And so now it might be a great time to sit outside with your journal, your feet on the ground, and ask your questions. I require information on this subject, and then, you know, and then be in a, you know, receptive mode, right? So, and you're going to be in this non-emotional. You're not going to be, you know, caring one way or the other, right? Like, I just have to, it has to be this way. No, it doesn't. Because what if there was something better than that? And we just limited ourselves because we thought it had to be this way. And whoa, and answers start coming to you like, wow, I hadn't considered it. I had no idea it could be anything other than what I was perceiving it had to be. So this is how thoughts of genius come to people. This is how, like, Einstein got his information, the theory of relativity, for example. He didn't just think of it with his left brain, although he's was very intelligent and so forth. He did not just come up with it by, you know, 30, 40 years of research. Yes, of course that came into play, but all that complicated stuff that he didn't even know came to him. Because he asked, he wanted it, he demanded it, he needed to know. I need this information, and I am determined. I will work for years to get this information. Or you could take it from Tesla and take credit for it. But Tesla got his information the same way, right? So he got the downloads and quantum energy. He had free energy. Tesla created free energy. And apparently the world wasn't ready for that. We were still selling it. So this is where you're going to be able to get your wisdom and answers to your questions. So do that on a regular basis to start would be great. So let's move on.
And ask a question. It can be any question, anything at all.
Yeah,
yes.
before, I also heard that you, regarding the grounding.
Yes.
I also heard that you can, focus on your tailbone instead of your feet.
Oh, the tailbone. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yes, you can send the grounding cord from the tailbone area.
Yeah,
From that
yeah.
area.
So if you have rubber shoes, or you're walking in shoes with rubber soles, you can use your tailbone instead of your feet. You can use.
Getting it up through the energy up through the tailbone instead of up through the feet.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Send it that way. Sure. Yeah. If you're feeling that it has to come through the feet, but you're wearing rubber soles, then you're canceling it out, right? Yeah. So intending that it's coming up now through the tailbone because you have to wear these shoes for work or whatever, but you want that energy to come still through you, then yeah, you can imagine that. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. So
You have. Oh, here.
Let's go into the next area.
The moment now and do that. Okay, welcome back. So we are electricity. Okay, so the 0-point cord connects with electricity of source, flows through the body and into the earth. And it loops back up around and connects again with source. We are electricity. We're also awareness. You see a flash of light inside a bubble, the electricity. Awareness goes where the mind directs it to. Witnessing. We are awareness. We are also mind. We have many selves along many frequencies in each of the layers. So it's important to be aligned with the 0-point cord, connected with your most relevant self and not in someone else's field. What we want to do here is we want to pull in our aura to just a few inches around our body. So let's take a few minutes here and consciously see your aura. We actually have 7 layers to this aura, but we want to pull in all 7 layers. We want to pull in the complete aura so that it is not out into other people's auras, getting mixed up and messed up with other people's auras, because there you're going to get commingled with their thoughts, with their beliefs. Maybe they have some spiritual interferences, entity attachments. We don't want that in our field. So we could also be picking up people's thoughts. Maybe they're having a bad day, and then all of a sudden we start feeling cranky and moody, and we don't know where that comes from, right? So, well, maybe your aura is way the heck out there. Check on this daily. This is going to be a practice that you're going to want to put into on a daily routine, okay, especially starting out, knowing where your aura is. So let's do this right now. We're going to take a few minutes here and consciously find where our aura is. Okay, you can do this with a person. So let's do this exercise with 2 people. So one person is going to stand, the other person is going to stand several feet away, and then continue to walk closer and closer and closer to this other person until they say, hey, I think I feel their aura here. And then we'll see if that's accurate. And then we'll ask the other person then to pull their aura in. Intend it to go in, and then we'll have the second individual walk closer and closer and closer until they can now feel where it was pulled into. And we're going to find exactly how far you got it. And you can do this on a regular basis until you're more in control and find that you're able to just do this without having the assistance of somebody else. So let's take a few minutes, and you can do this with a partner.
Now, of course, you probably don't have anybody else right there. But this would be good, just consciously seeing it. So now your aura layers, you have 7 layers. The first layer is the closest one to your body. Then you have like the mental layer, emotional layer, and so forth, right? So then the second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, sixth layer. The 7th layer is the furthest one out, and it is the one that people can feel. Like if you walk into a room, people can feel you. That's that 7th layer. So that's why it's real good to have a clean aura. So you can consciously see yourself cleaning your aura and getting all 7 layers of the aura clean and cleansed. First, what I do is I check to see, okay, so what is the percentage of function of my aura layer 1? Okay, so then you can go 80, 90, 95, 95%. Okay, good. Or whatever it happens to be. Now you can just see yourself clearing and cleaning that. And I think we'll get into that tomorrow. But so getting that up to 100%. Then you can ask, what is my layer number 2? Clean that, all the way up to number 7. Get them all up to 100%. These are the part of our energy bodies. This is our energy body along with our chakras. And we want to keep this clean and clear. But then again, like it's saying, especially like if you're on an airplane or somewhere, in a stadium or something that you're sitting real close to other people, this is very important to do. Okay, because if your aura is way out there, you're picking up all the stuff and all the fear from people on a plane or something, and you might not have as good of a ride as if, okay, so what I do when I get on an airplane is I do this. I pull my aura in to just a few inches around me, just my little space right here. And then I see myself in a bubble. I can put myself in this protective bubble. I can put these dark blue flames around this bubble to burn off any negative energies, anything that would be outside of my aura. That's not me. So I don't want that in there. So I'm all in there protected, happy. You could see this as a bubble. You could see it as one of those little snow globes, that you're in there all happy in your own little world. And then you're going to, like if you're on an airplane, what I do then is I start clearing the airplane. Or I usually do it before I get on the plane. I clear the plane, the energies in the plane so that it's not going to be as turbulent and so forth. So, and I do that the whole ride, you know, so you could sit there and you could do energy like this while you're in the plane, and just intend that that plane is going to have smooth glide, just a smooth glide through the atmosphere. So this is your own personal space and how you're going to, you know, keep your space yours and clean, away from other people's spaces.
Very good. Okay, so accessing your spiritual development. So there are 4 main phases that we cycle through as we seek new information. The first phase is as a skeptic. So we seek truth outside of our reality. Okay, so the people actually seek truth outside of themselves. Some people can stay here for a lifetime. Many people do. They are always looking outside of themselves for their answers. And this phase is something that you planned out in advance to coming in. And if you choose not to seek truth, the higher self can create an experience where you are forced to. Okay, so mostly these are where out-of-body experiences come to be that you remember. So we travel out of the body at night also, but we usually don't remember it. So it will cause something to happen that you do remember, such as an accident. Okay, my husband had a heart attack, and he, at the hospital, he was outside of his body and looking down at it, and he was aware of everything that was happening around, but he felt very, very warm, and everything felt great. But then when he saw himself, he's like, I love that guy. And he chose to come back, right? So at that point, that was his exposure then to going outside of the 3 dimensions that he was aware of. So also a death of a loved one can also cause this shock and shock us into seeking answers. Sometimes though, if you don't find answers, people may quit. Synchronicities.
Yeah, something happened there.
That's the spiritual enthusiast.
Okay.
So they're really excited now about what they've learned, you know, having come back from this out-of-body experience, and they want to convert everybody, right? Like seeing God, right? So they seek synchronicities. So they do experience them, right? So they seek out these synchronicities, and because they experience them. So eventually, though,
Something happened with my mute button. Or
they
something.
continue their search, maybe just a little less enthused. But if they continue, then they can go into phase 3. But if the correct teacher, information, or support do not show up, they go back to life as it was before, thinking, it could have just been a fluke. So phase 3 is the one of the student. And here is where real learning begins. The student looks into meditation, or maybe Reiki, or other modalities such as tapping or acupuncture and so forth. So a lot of people start with tapping. Many join a religion or groups of like-minded people, but without the knowledge of what's possible, they might find themselves in some kind of strict, belief system or religion, and they try to fit everything into this framework, whether or not they buy into all of the benefits of the group or not, which actually called group mind. And when we believe what the group believes. And some will refuse to look out past this belief system. They're like religions, okay? A lot of people are trapped in these religious frameworks that everything just has to fit inside this framework, and they will not look outside of it. They refuse to look out past this belief system for fear that they'll lose the small amount that does fit their beliefs. So keep an open mind here, so if you don't get stuck, because then the search ends. Phase 4 is the spiritualist in search. And this is like starting at go again. So searching for a new breakthrough or a new aha moment, something that kickstarts them them to think that perhaps there is something past their current experience, knowledge, religion, or belief system. They ask bigger questions that they haven't found answers for. And trusting their intuition, these start to come from within or by new outside sources, as if by magic. So stage 2 kicks in and the excitement of a new find starts again. And this is where your genius or your higher self-knowledge is activated, because there is no fear of being wrong or excluded from a group or choosing a religion or a modality that you're excited about. So this can be an endless search for truth based in curiosity and excitement. And from here, you can go on to teach and continue to learn at the same time. Yes, I do learn things from my clients every day. I see similarities between their issues and things that I've either experienced and resolved or have just uncovered now about myself. Very, very interesting how this happens. I get a client who says that, I was like, oh my gosh, I was just doing that myself. So we are always learning. So from here, we can go into an expanded version of phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's always more to learn. So for example, I want to do more with channeling now, and I'm in the student phase there. So your body power layers, there's essence, there's spirit, which is one layer of our multidimensional self, the ball of light that connects with source. It's having an experience through the human layer. And there's the soul, and that's the layer that created the spirit and is experiencing life through it. The creator or your higher self is another layer. It's created the soul. And all these layers make up your body, and you are the awareness that moves from layer to layer or level to level in your soul. And you do this by focusing your attention on where you want it to be. And that's it. Discernment. Realms. Okay, you can't see these physically, but not everything out there in the spirit world is trustworthy and positive, as you'll find out when we get to the spiritual attachments module. So sit straight. We're going to do a little activation right now, and we are going to sit straight with your feet on the floor and breathe in light and breathe out any darkness from inside. Say, I am now my awareness. And see yourself inside a bubble, inside your brain. Continue to breathe, pulling all your thoughts, feelings, and energy through your head. And as it passes through your bubble, merges with it. Move your bubble down your light cord through to the center of the earth. Filling up the bubble with that beautiful energy. When it is full, the bubble shoots back up the cord, up to your heart space, where it stays. Now write something on a piece of paper and place it up to your heart. This could be anything. Write a statement, write just a little short statement. When you place it up to your heart, do you feel expanded or contracted? You'll know how this resonates with you by the way you feel. So do this now.
And you can do this if you're not real skilled yet at muscle testing, which here's the way I do it. I put the middle finger over the index finger. I don't know if you can see that, but I put the middle middle finger over my index finger. And if it's a no, it just snaps off. It's a yes, it stays strong. It's no, it snaps. Okay. So if you're not real skilled with that yet, and for the actual kinesiology, you can do this. You can, or you can take a product, you know, like, is this tea, is this beneficial for me? And then you can put it up to your chest. And some people do the sway method. They'll like sway forward if they're getting a yes, or they'll sway backwards if that, no, that tea's not for you. You can do that in a grocery store, you know, put the product up here, or even you can just, you know, kind of hold it and, you know, up to your field, whatever, right at this space, so people don't wonder what you're doing, I guess. But you will get, oh no, that, ooh, put that back. That's not good. Pick up another one and try that, right? And this is getting your awareness increased. So so that you don't have to do the sway method. You don't have to put things up to you. You can just look at something and say, no, that's not for me. I'm getting no. That one, I have some reason I'm getting drawn to that one, right? So that one, yes, that one's good. So you can also then do the muscle testing. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the very best beneficial.
All right, today we are going to do a standing ab workout. I know a lot of you guys.
So what would you get if, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best for you? So you could just say, okay, I'm getting like a 3 on that product. Okay, so don't get that one. And you will find that you've been spending money on stuff that's not good for you. And you had no clue that that wasn't the best thing, right? So do this on an everyday basis, just becoming aware. Now, it doesn't have to be food related. It could be anything. Like, is this phone call to this person? Should I make this phone call to this person? Is now a good time to do that? No. How about in 2 hours? No. Should I ever call them? No. All right. So that solves that, I guess. You know, so this can give you answers to everyday occurrences. You know, I've got oils, you know, I mean, I you know, which oils are good for me. Sometimes I just intuitively pick an oil, like this is the one for this occasion, whatever it happens to be. Or, you know, it could be relationships that we're in. How is this relationship? Is this person the best, you know, match for me right now in my life? You know, on a 1 to 10 scale, you know, is 10? Okay, yes, great. 2, well, maybe not so much. There are things that I can do to improve my situation. Are there, you know, should I do this? No. Should I would this be better? Yes. Okay. So therefore you're able now to be a conscious creator, right? Because we have just accepted what comes to us as this is how I'm going to live today. And I'm not saying you are, you know, absolutely not. But a lot of people, that's what they're doing. They just live unconsciously, and whatever comes to them on a daily basis is how they live and what they experience. They have cut themselves off from so much of life by doing that, because what's coming at them could be what's ever on television right now. So what's on television? Well, they're allowing that now to become their reality, or those frequencies to come into their bodies. And they're not aware of what they're doing. Whereas now that you're becoming conscious and aware, now you can choose. You can choose what to concentrate on. You can choose what to spend your time on consciously, and whatever is going to be of the utmost importance to you, to your life, to your goals, to your total vision, so that you can start today and be where you want to be, whatever that goal is or that vision is for your life. You can actually get there and more. You can go way past that. Some people will never get there because first they don't set goals. They don't know where that is or what they should be doing, what's best for them. But even if they do, a lot of the conscious, you know, the willpower to put into doing that drops off over time. They just don't have it anymore. I guess I'm not supposed to, you know, not you know, supposed to be doing it. Somebody else is probably better at it than me anyway. You know, and they give up. A lot of people just are in the whatever comes, right? And that's who they're married to. A lot of people. They just chose whoever called them or whoever, you know, was at the bar that night or whatever, you know. And so they're like, okay, well, that's it, you know. But they're, the way I used to do it, and I'm not anymore because I'm married, but what I used to do is I always was the one who chose. And like this current marriage, and I mentioned before that I had a husband that died. That was that was a couple decades ago. Okay. And I'm married again now. And how I met him was a conscious thing. I didn't really realize I was going to meet him, but I consciously walked into a place and I consciously noticed who was in there, and I consciously walked up to the person who had the best energy in the whole place and just kind of sat there. You know, that's where I chose to sit when I walked into this place. So, and then I was correct in that he did have great energy. He started talking, I started talking, and that's actually his name. His last name is the same as my last name. So I actually chose him from I was in a phone book because well, there was another marriage in there between the one that died 20 years, you know, and then I married somebody else. That was not conscious. That was not a conscious choice. I did not do any of this right 20 years ago. So that ended in divorce. And they were asking me, well, what do you want your last name to be? What name are you going back to? And I'm like, I don't want to go back to the last name I had before. That wasn't mine. It was the guy that died, right? So I mean, I'm not going there. So I'm thinking, okay, so what do I want to do? And so I had called my cousin. She goes, oh, well, how come, you know, just be Marlene, you know, just like Cher, Madonna, you know, like, I got to have a last name. They want a last name. I better give them a last name. So I go to the phone book and I'm going, Adams. Oh, the Adams family. I used to like that. I'm like, okay. So I wrote that on a little sheet of paper. And then I'm going a little further. I'm like, Alan. Going, all the letters of my first name are in Alan. I'm like, well, it kind of matches. All right, fine. I'm out of time. This one, I write it down on a piece of paper. I circle it. I call the guy back, paralegal or whoever he was, told him this is my name. And he put it on the court records or paperwork. And so when the judge said, you're now divorced, boom. And, you know, congratulations, Marlene Allen. I'm like, yay. And I like skipped up, got my paperwork, and I skipped out of the courtroom singing. Yay. And then it wasn't very long after that, then I met Bruce, and he said that was his last name. I go, you're kidding. Of course there was no kidding, because it was like, that's what I chose, right? So, and that was 14 years ago, something like that. So, so you can be totally aware and totally conscious. And this is the way you will get things come to you. And then another thing too, like we're increasing your frequency of vibration right now. As a matter of fact, we're up to about 600 at this point instead of 450. So we're about 600. And I'm continuing on to get this raised even more. But as you have a higher frequency now, you will find things can start coming to you. All right, so these are the, you know, synchronicities will start happening in your life. So whatever you're putting out there, that this is what I require, and this is what I deserve. So I deserve this. This is my birthright. I deserve this, right? And I require, this is what it is. So you're putting it out there. So now your higher self or the goodness involved here knows what it is that you want, and knows then that is what can start coming into your field, right? So, and now your awareness, like, wow, there's an opportunity, right? So now you may have to do something, right? So there it is, there's the opportunity, but you might need to make a phone call or take some action, do something, because we are humans in bodies. So we have to do whatever that is in the third dimension to make that happen. But it's come to you as that opportunity. It's right, that possibility is right there, right? There's so many other possibilities that are in your field or in our fields, and we're just not aware that they are there for us. So, so doing an exercise in awareness is very critical, and you will be able to your life can just turn around completely. Absolutely. So let's continue on. Actually, you know what? It is time for a break actually right now too. If or did somebody have a comment? I just heard somebody say something. I don't know if maybe you're muted or whatever.
I was thinking about, is it, when it comes to muscle testing, is it your ego or is it your higher self? So that's a little bit, you know, I think it's depends on your state of mind, maybe. If you're grounded and relaxed, it's your higher self. But if you know, if you're you know, in a sympathetic state, fight or flight state or something like that, it may be something else.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you don't want to just come at it like when you're you know, in that airplane with everybody around you and you never put yourself in a you know, you've got all this others, who knows whose answers you're getting correct. Very good. Great observation. Right. So that's why you want to be sure that you are sovereign. You're in your own space. You have grounded, you have connected, and you've requested your higher self to give you the answers. Yeah. So you're requesting it, you know where you're getting your information. And that's why earlier when it says, who are you listening to?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very, very important, critical. Yeah, very good. I like that. If anyone has another question, otherwise let's just take a 5 or 10 minutes, whatever it is for you. You can come back, you know, unmute yourself when you come back or whatever, but we're going to take 10 minutes. And well, let's come back at 1/4 after, whatever that happens to be for you. For here, it's 10:02, so let's 10:15 for those of us in Arizona. Okay, so I'll just leave this on and mute myself, and then we'll come back and resume. Okay. Okay, are we back?
Okay.
So if there's anything somebody's come up with over the break and wants to,
I have a question.
yeah, go ahead, Linda.
My question is, when you talked about auras and like say, you know, I work with kids, right? They're
Yeah.
always in your face. And so like I have one or two that like one comes in, you know, and I work with her and she'll come in like, okay, she's ready to work. But then when I start working with her, her aura suddenly changes. It gets to the point of, I don't hear you. I don't want to do this. How do you change that? I mean, I try to work with her and it's like, I'm up against the wall. Like, are there people like that? And how do you help to change that part?
Yeah, that's a good question. So what we're going to learn is to ask the body what it is that it requires. Well, what is it that's blocking this child from learning or having a learning disability? What is it from, you know, and whether disability is a good word, I don't really claim that to use that, but what is it that is blocking this child from being able to learn, or, you know, having the motivation to learn? And then, you know, is it something in there, maybe is it, you know, spiritual, energetic, so then you can check for entity attachments. So a lot of times that's going to be a behavioral issue right there. So if you clear them totally of those, then you can check if, okay, so is there something else? Maybe it's in mental. So okay, so maybe it's perception. So maybe they have they get overwhelmed and so they start procrastinating. They don't want to do it because last time it didn't work out so well. Maybe they were yelled at. Maybe another teacher wasn't very nice with them. So just kind of breaking through that. But you may have to clear some things then in their perception, maybe group mind, you know, and we're going to get the chart to go through, and then you'll see the different things that you check for that individual, because they could be anything, right? So.
And I also noticed, you know, and this is not with one child, I noticed sometimes it has to do with family, mother, child, like, you know how we have, you know, how we relate to people. Well, yeah. A child relating to a mother, or, you know, like control. Not maybe the mother so much, maybe the child or opposite. I mean, just like we do, we you know, we communicate with each other. Same thing with child and a mother, or child and a father, that kind of thing too. So you can clear those things to help the child or help the person.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be going through different charts here, and the charts will have areas of that we can look at. Okay, so is this blocking the child from learning or having a good learning experience? No? Okay, how about this? Yes. Okay, so clear that, right? So how about this one? Nope. Okay. Next one? Nope. Whatever. And then, so just clear the ones that then are pertinent to that individual. And then once you're through that, then you can say, okay, so now is there still something in mental? No. Okay, so now is there something in the field of amplification that's blocking? Oh, yes. Okay, so now I'll go to that chart, and then we'll clear the different things that come up as a yes on that chart. And then we'll go from there. So a lot of times you can get to the root by just clearing those items, that come up. So it could be something, you know, physical then too. So okay, so now is it physical? Yes. Okay, is there something in the brain? Okay, you know, I mean, it could go way into something more at that point. But you clear all the other stuff first that you can, and then see, is there anything else, right? Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I have a comment. I've learned in the past, I've learned kinesiology myself. Mm-hmm. And And sometimes you have a situation there, you know, the person you're treating is freezing up their muscles, you know, and so you can't muscle test them. So that sounds, you know, similar. That they're having a polarity switch or something, and
you can ask their higher selves to adjust their polarity too. Yeah.
Yeah. And many times when you have that situation, when the person is drinking water, you can release that you know, freeze.
Okay. All right. So so kinesiology, so meaning like they stick their arm out and then you go, if it goes down, it's a no, but if it stays strong, it's a yes. That.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And if you can't, if they freezes their muscles, you know, even if you're asking a no question, and the muscle freezes, is something going on there, and sometimes it's you know, you can release that with having the you know, the person drinking water. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one way you can do kinesiology. Absolutely. With the, you know, if their arm won't go down, then that's pretty much an indication of a yes. But if it goes down right away, that's pretty much an indication of a no. So this would be, it's good for the other person. And if you're in person with them, I'm hardly ever in person with my clients. So I don't use that method. And so I just speak directly to their higher self. And that's how I get my answers. So then it's like, okay, so something I'm asking a question to, that would be a no. I'm asking their higher self, is this whatever it is? No. And you can just no. So you get the answers yourself from their body. Yeah. That way. Yeah. But very good. You can do it that way. And you know, if you're in person, and then that, you know, it may be that they actually need to see for themselves that their body can respond and does have the answers. It's you know, kind of a you know, a mind opener to them. If you have a client maybe, or somebody that doesn't believe in what you're doing, works or whatever, then you can just say, okay, well, is your name Bill? Yeah. Okay. Or is your name Mary? No. Oh, wow. Okay. So my body is intelligent and it does have answers. Okay, great. You know, but you don't have to use it.
No.
Yeah. So, so let's do, so yeah, totally.
Let's do an awareness activation now. Okay. So you can do this one daily for maybe a week to connect with and know who you are. Your awareness. So sit straight, feet on the floor. Ask your awareness to be pulled into a ball of light 2 feet above your head. Put your awareness there, in that ball. Then bring it down into your solar plexus. Breathe in and out from there a few times. Let this ball fill you. Now know that you have just taken control of your awareness. Now you know you. Doing this daily will align yourself more with your life's purpose. Now let's journal what you feel.
And you can come back to this as a homework if you'd like, and continue on. For the sake of time, we'll just go on.
I'll do an I am, my I am activation. So feel the connection between your soul's awareness and source. Become your soul, the one that created the spirit, and the one that remembers all your lives and knows what will happen in this one. This will bring your awareness into your body and field of consciousness, and will make sure that you are you. Your energy, thoughts, and emotions go where you put your attention. Awareness is source, experiencing all its creation. So we're all the same awareness. What differentiates us, though, is the consciousness that it is connected to, which is our soul. So this activation will connect you to you and call back all the pieces of your awareness that may be causing issues in your life. And this will align the layers of you and align you with the 0-point cord. So use this to bring you back at any time. So here is the exercise. You want to put your name in the blank spaces, these sentences, then journal your thoughts. Write about what you see for your life. So I am, and then your name, awareness now. I am, my name's body. I am, my name. I am, my name. I am, my name. I am, my name's higher self. I am, my name's spirit. I am, my name's soul. I am, my name's I am now. I am all that I am now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. And then sign it and date it. So let's take some time right now and go ahead and do this exercise.
I would like to have you do this as homework. I mean, if you can do it right now, that's great. But for the sake of time, it's good to do this. And some things come up that some awareness can come up around who you really are. So this is really good. And I will send will send you the videos here if you don't already have them.
And while we are journaling, put this as an exercise for the next day after doing this first filling in your name exercise. You can journal about what you'd like to see released from your life. And then you can fill in the blanks again. So add that underneath this exercise and your answers. Add this as your next to-do item. So you want to journal about what you'd like to see released from your life. And once you journal that, then fill in the blanks again. Okay? And here's your next to-do, which would be a day after that. So you want to jot down to do this the following day. So fill in the form. Then sit and breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. When you're relaxed, read all the statements out loud with your name in them. Pause between each statement and note how you feel in your journal. When complete journaling about all the statements, read what you feel overall. Be very surprised on the things that come up. Seems simple, but it's surprising. Now, we're going to sink into the heart space. Sink into our heart space. So this is required to be able to enter your soul home. Okay, so your heart center is not your heart. It is actually in the center of your chest. So the center, the heart center, not the organ and the heart organ itself. It is the center of your chest. It's in the center of the 0-point cord running through it. And from here, you can access any other layer of consciousness. So go here whenever you feel stuck. Okay. So let's do that now. We're going to do an activation to sink into your heart space. So go ahead and close your eyes and say, I am, I am. And place your hand on your heart. And imagine that your awareness is between your hand and your chest. Your awareness there. Take a few deep breaths. Keep your attention there. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, sounding like ha. Few deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Ha. Now imagine a bubble right behind you. Beautiful, beautiful bubble. And sink back into that bubble. When you feel it comfortably around you, you have made it into your heart space. Yes. Beautiful. While we're in this mode, let's do an activation now to align and center your 0 light cord. This will get your glass elevator, if you will, cable on the right track. So begin by saying, I am that I am. Close your eyes and imagine a cylinder of light coming from above your head. It shines through your body and heads down into the earth. Sit with this light shining through you. Breathe, relax, and pull all your energy into this cylinder of light. When all your energy is within this cylinder, sink into your heart space bubble, as we just did. And then say 0. Then imagine you're being pulled into the center of your heart space, where you'll find a spark of electricity that represents the 0-point energy that we all have inside. And let this energy fill your heart space bubble. When you've merged with your bubble, say 0 source. Then imagine a bolt of energy shoot up the cylinder into the 0 point of source. Then say 0 ground. And imagine a bolt of energy shooting down into the center, or 0 point of earth. This has grounded your awareness into your body and aligned it with all the different layers of mind, body, and soul. You are now connected to Source. Very nice. Yeah, let's do some grounding. Ground your awareness into your body. So centering your soul into your body, which connects your body to the earth. And when the connection between your body, your soul, and earth are connected, you are safer and more in tune with your body, mind, and nature. You're less distracted by free floating thoughts in the ethers around you when you're securely grounded, because the mentality of the unconditionally loving earth can instantly cleanse your energy and keeps your consciousness in your body. So the deeper your roots are, the higher you can reach. It's necessary when doing energy work, or you could burn yourself out. Healing work, quantum activation, not just energy work. So if your awareness is not grounded in your own body, and we do not use the energy of Source and Mother Earth to attach our awareness to our consciousness, then our awareness can be everywhere. Very, very important to ground. So let's do a grounding exercise. Get this working for you. So take a few relaxing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let out a sigh to release that stored up energy that doesn't belong to you. Close your eyes and ask yourself where you are. See where your awareness takes you and merge with it. Say, I am that I am. And imagine pulling that ball of light that is you, your I am, into the center of your brain, pineal gland. Sit and breathe a few more times, relaxing. Now imagine a bubble of energy around you with bursts of light shooting out. These offshoots from the bubble represent all the thoughts you have thought about another person, place, or thing. When you think of someone or something, a piece of you reaches out and touches the bubble of that someone or something and exchanges energy. Another thought goes out and exchanges energy with their bubble, and so forth. After weeks, months, and years of not cleaning these, the brain gets very busy processing these as long as they exist. If you have too many windows open on your computer, for example, eventually you'll run out of memory. Same thing happens here. So say, come back and sense these offshoots of light being pulled back into your brain, where your consciousness is now at, lined up with your pineal gland, seat of your soul. Once these offshoots have been pulled back into your bubble, bring your awareness into your brain. See it dropping out of your head, through your neck, into a new bright white bubble of energy that is in the center of your heart space. Sit with your awareness in the heart center for a moment. As you breathe, allow the heart space bubble to expand until it floods your entire physical body with its bright white light. Now in your mind, say, I am that I am, and I am now grounded. Feel your feet rooting into the earth, sinking into the ground, down through the earth's layers, until your feet are securely grounded to the center of the earth. Then allow the earth's energy physical body and the bubble of energy that surrounds you. Extending 50 feet up, 50 feet down, and 50 feet to each side of you, or a radius of your bubble of 100 feet in all directions. This will allow you to be in control of your own energy, feeling a difference right away. So to end, I'm going to bring your awareness to your physical body. Wiggle your fingers and toes and stretch. And then open your eyes. Welcome back. Now I invite everybody to get some water, hydrate, refresh. And let's get a little bit of nature. So go outside, get in touch with nature, relax, take a few minutes for yourself, take a break.
So that's a good, after you can be doing these exercises, that it is a good thing to go out into nature and then actually do the grounding outside in nature. So, so any comments right now at this point? Everything that we've learned, everything that we've heard so far, any comments or questions? And I think everybody is muted at this point, so you may want to unmute your.
So you want us to do the same practice again every day? The sound audio is a bit warbly or distorted on my computer. So that when you're bringing the light into the mind and then you sink it down to the heart and then send it out in all dimensions, is that what you were saying?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And yes, because this is the heart center. This is the largest brain that we have, and it's magnetic. This is a magnetic field right here, and it creates like this torus field. So you can Google that and get information on that. But it connects everything. So from here, that's why we wanted to bring our awareness bubble inside this heart center, because now we can look at things from here and come from this space instead of coming from the head. So sending out energy from this area is going to be very, very powerful, more powerful than you could ever get from your physical brain in your head, doing it that way. So yeah, and yes, you can, when you're starting out, especially, go and do some of these exercises. Maybe jot them down on a little sheet of paper, saying the sink into my heart space exercise, and then just have a couple, 3 things there that you can do each day to ground myself, sink into my heart space, make sure I'm tapping into my genius mind, so letting go of the ego and intellect. So just having a little notes for yourself of what you could do as a ritual if you'd like to do that. And then you won't need it after a while. You'll just be able to just go through the steps in your head and just be there quicker, but while you're learning, yes, this is a great way just to continue to do it until you get the hang of it, and where you need to be to connect, because then at this point, now you're more ready to help other people, right? So you don't want to start healing projects when you're all messed up in the head and you just got, running around doing things and like, okay, now, I'm going to help you. Oh, right. So knowing how it feels, right? So it's really the difference in what it feels like to you. So is this the best space that I can be in right now to start doing the healing work? If not, I need to go through a couple more steps, right? So you'll know after a while. But yeah, so just play it by ear, and then eventually you'll know how it feels when you're ready to actually start doing the healing work. So very good. Anybody else? All right. So let's look at all right, so the connection. So this is where we're going to do the muscle testing. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen here and get my next video up for you. Share it again.
Finding fulfillment, passion, and purpose. Transformative healing and training with Marlene Allen. Training module number 3, your physical body power. Here, we're programmed to find our most basic needs: food, shelter, survival. Here is the I just want to feel good level. This is the way we experience the world through our 5 senses, and the only way we can get grounded. The only way to do that is to eat high vibrational foods and to optimize yourself through the best methods to stay in shape, healthy, and whole. That includes exercise, body work, holistic healing protocols, whatever you can do to be physically well. The physical is one level of your soul and is highly connected to all the other levels. This is why we can get sick when we are out of alignment. We have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and an ego. And we are programmed with an operating system, and we are informed by our DNA. So this is who we are on the physical level. Our cells have memory, cellular memory. And everything is recorded in your body, in your cells. Well, take that in for a moment. Everything is recorded in your body, in your cells. Your cells have memory. That is why when you hear about people who have had, say, a transplant of an organ, and they start feeling other things that aren't them, or they have cravings for foods that they would never have liked before. That is why. Cells in that organ have memory.
I'm going to stop here. So I just mentioned that if somebody had a transplant, then yes, you're getting the DNA of the other person, or blood transfusion from their blood. Or I'm also going to interject this. If you have had a flu shot, and I'm not sure how far back this would go, but they put, or they have been putting in, I don't know exactly, now or what's the protocol here, but they have put cells of aborted fetuses in the vaccines. So you're actually getting DNA of somebody else in these vaccines. And so therefore now we have you and we have other in the body, right? So now you could have other people's memories in your body from having this DNA put inside your body.
What about stem cells?
What are stem cells?
What about stem cells? Like when they give those new, not your stem cells, but the baby's placenta, is that also something?
It's only it's not like you're really not getting the mother's Yes, you do. You get it through bloodline. You can acquire through DNA. Yes, exactly, from genealogy. However, what we're talking here is not that, because that's the natural, and that's how, you know, the body knows what's going on with the mother, and where our source, you know, where we came from. But this is other people other than your mom.
Oh no, well, that's what I meant. Like, you know how they're giving stem cell shots?
Oh yes, from taking them from somebody else. Yes, and putting them in your body. Absolutely. Yes, other people's DNA. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, but unless now they harvest it from you too. They can harvest your own stem cells from, you know, a fatty part of your body or wherever they get them, and that's the better way to do it if you're going to do it that way, you know, with a physician. But that's why I work in these master stem cells and in the stem cells of the body energetically, so that you don't have to take other people's stem cells, or you don't have to harvest your own and, you know, shoot them back into yourself. So this is where, and we go into this in detail in level 2. It's more advanced, but what we're doing there is making that one cell, that master cell, perfect, whole and complete. And we match it to the beauty, love, and perfection of the divine human blueprint. So there is a divine blueprint for humans, and it is what we are designed around, is this beautiful blueprint. And it was designed in perfection with all the beauty and everything that, you know, our bodies are designed to do so wonderfully and perfectly without our, you know, automatically. So once we get that perfection then of that one cell, then we can match that cell to all of the cells in a particular organ or body part, for example. So we can use our own cells and our own DNA. We don't have to mess around with outside DNA. So just be careful. And now, of course, like with, you know, with having intercourse and so forth, that's not the exact same thing either, although you're taking a sperm, you know, and that can be, yes, have its own DNA and so forth. However, it's not mingling with your own, it's in its own, you know, container, if you will. So so it's not the same thing either. So really it's by taking on transfusions of blood or organs, or yeah, having someone else's stem cells injected in you, or through vaccines or flu shots, or we don't know what all's in them, right? But yeah, and so that's another thing too about being careful what you do with your DNA, right? So it's like, oh, get tested for certain things. Well, did you know that whenever you're tested for things, they're taking your DNA, right? So a blood test, or you know, or even hair, right? Or saliva, whenever you give blood, or like these 1, 2, 3 and me, those genealogy tests, you're actually sending off your DNA to who knows where, to who knows who. Yes, certainly they're going to, you know, they do what they say they're going to do with it and send you back a report, and that's all great. But what are they doing with the DNA afterwards? This is my question, and the reason I haven't done it yet, because you know, they do things such as cloning nowadays, right? So do I really want another me running around that I have no idea what's going on? You know, because they can use DNA and do all kinds of things that we're not aware of. You're not telling us about, right? So just know that your DNA is very valuable, very valuable, especially if you're a healthy person, you know, and they want to replicate something like you, or whatever. So, and I may be not know everything about what's happening on that side, but I know enough to know that I'm cautious about giving away my DNA at all times. So the healthier you can stay yourself, and the more that you can do the healing on yourself and making sure that your body and cells are up to optimal condition, then you don't have to give blood away or you know, go have labs done because there's problems or issues with you. So this is a way of being sovereign, of being in control, or being empowered for yourself. The moment we start giving away our authority and our power to others, so for an example, a physician has that white coat on. Once they put that white coat and the stethoscope on, now they take on this authority and credibility of somebody that is in power, right? And when patients come in and they're like, you know, sitting there looking up at this all-powerful person, you know, I'm exaggerating here a little bit, but then they give away their power, like, oh, what's wrong with me? I have no idea. I can't figure it out myself. And so then the doctor speaks up and just gives his, you know, this is what it is. And, oh, okay, thank you. You know, it's called medical control energy, okay? There's control energy that can be from groups. It could be religious control or other, you know, even in school, like there's a control over the teacher and the student, right? So there's a control energy going, but medical control is when you give your power over to a doctor. Now, of course, there's times where you're going to need to do something, but just be aware that you are partners with this person. You are not below this individual, this doctor or whoever. You come in there paying them, so you know, they should be providing you with your answers and information. So it's not for them to tell you so much what to do, but to provide you with information, because that may be the piece that all you want to know. I just want to know, is there, you know, what my level of certain vitamins or whatever are in my body. I want that report. I want to see that report. That's what I want to know. You know, you can help me read it if you'd like, but I will be the determinant of what happens from there, right? So, yeah, so just know, all right, and be discerning with your body parts and what you're doing with them, and who you're listening to. Okay, so where you're getting this information, because now all you're going to get from the doctor is exactly what he learned out of this textbook that was given to them, and now what was in the textbook is only the allowed information. It's only what's allowed for these doctors to do. Now, of course, they have insurance for malpractice, so they can only go inside the parameters. They cannot go outside of parameters. They cannot do, okay, we're going to dive deep now and look really and research what your problem is. It's probably not going to happen unless you've got the right doctor to do that. So don't belittle yourself to anybody, to any authorities. You are sovereign, meaning you are in total control of your own being. This is, you know, our God-given rights. And so you can partner with people or experts, if you will, and that's the only way I would allow a physician to interact with me, is on the same wavelength. I'm here for, you know, because this is what I have to do to get the lab tests, apparently. But from there, you know, they're my equal, not a power figure to me. So being aware that control energy is a thing. I clear it every day with people. Control energy and medical control. So
everything in your body, that is why it's so important to be in your body, to be grounded. Grounding exercises that we just did in the previous module. Very, very important. We are here in a body for a purpose. This body has purpose, not for you just to be up in your head all the time thinking, right? Your body is where we live. We live in our knees and our toes. We live in the tips of our fingers. We live in our shoulders, hips. Okay? Not just hovering up here around in your head. We live in the body, and our cells carry the memory of all of our experiences. And we have master stem cells that we work in when we do regeneration of the body part, organ, or gland. The master stem cells are what we become whole. We match the perfection of the divine blueprint into these master cells the way it was intended, the way we were before lifestyle, before the years of eating chemical processed foods, environmental pollutions, EMFs, household products and cleaners, chemicals, toxins, the air we breathe. Before all of that compromised our health of our cells, the health of our organs and glands, we were perfect. We had perfect master stem cells. And the master stem cell holds the information, holds the beauty, love, and perfection of source as was intended, is intended for us through the master human blueprint. This is what we will tap into and make whole again so that we can match this beauty, love, and perfection of the human blueprint through the master stem cell. And that master stem cell then will copy that beauty, love, and perfection to all cells in an organ or gland. And these cells then will be in a regrowth period for a different number of days, depending on the organ or gland or body part, each having that intelligence to replicate that beauty and perfection after we've cleared out what doesn't belong. Clearing out all the years of toxins and chemicals and thoughts and beliefs, feelings or emotions that brought down and compromised that area of the body. This is what we work in the physical. We all have memory in ourselves. Now let's test our beliefs. So we continue to be programmed with others' beliefs nearly 100% of the time from age 1 to 7 because we don't have a filter yet. And these programs can keep you stuck in ways that you don't even realize. And when we're older, we can consciously dispute these false beliefs that may or may not be true, but they still remain in the subconscious. So to move forward with your spiritual expansion, we must dissolve those beliefs. So test yourself for what you believe in with muscle testing. You may be surprised what is still stored there and what you're operating under. So let's ask ourselves a series of, just basic questions such as, I love myself. I hate myself. I love God. I hate God. Money is the root of all evil. Women should be seen and not heard. And there's more. So let's just test basic things that we may have bought into without realizing. These beliefs that aren't even yours could be getting in your way. So let's test them now. Very good.
So that's something that you can do as an exercise on your own. Because at one point I did get the reply, I hate God, and I got a yes. And I did not intend that. So I don't know where it came from, but and once I was aware of it, then I was able to, to work with that and clear that, that belief. And so I love myself. One time I got a no on that. So if that's the case, we need to know this, because now we could be self-sabotaging. We could be doing things that are not in our best interest because we're coming from that one belief that who knows where that came from. We didn't know it was there, right? So it's very important to do these core questions and then get your answer. Do I love myself? Yes or no. Okay. Jot down what comes up if something comes up as a no that you were surprised about. And then do some clearings on it. Just doing the actual, the swirl with your hand can clear that by intending that I am now dissolving that belief. That is not my belief. I do love myself, or I do love God, or whatever it happens to have come up to be. And just send some gold energy, some beautiful energy into that belief and seeing it dissolving. I do not own that belief. That is not my belief. Dissolving that belief. And then you can muscle test and say, okay, so how clear am I now with that belief? Is that belief cleared by 10%? Yes. 20, 30, 40, only 40%. Okay, well then continue on until you get it to 100%. So that's one thing that you can do to get those core beliefs. Yeah, because there's some stuff in there. You may even want to make a whole list of the things that to ask and see really what it is you really believe. Like I must work hard. I had that one before because my family, my father's family was, owned a farm. And so they believed it was noble to, to get up early, do all this work and go to bed, after having slaved all day pretty much in the field and the animals and plants and so forth, which fine, it may be noble work. But the point of the fact is that I was walking around with the thoughts that that I had to work hard. It had to be through my hard work and my physical labor and just, pour my blood, sweat, and tears into everything and just make it happen, do. And that's what I did for a long time. And so that can, eventually wear out your adrenal glands and, just that type A thing going for a long time. The cortisol and the adrenaline keep you going. And then, for long, you burn out, right? So, so when I realized I was working harder than I had to, and that this doesn't have to be hard. This doesn't have to be hard work. It can just come to you, right? Your answers can just come and so forth. So basic beliefs, go ahead and make your list, and then you can come back to this and do your own testing. But now we're going to do muscle testing, kinesiology, and then also a clearing for testing, or a clearing around what could be blocking accurate muscle testing.
Amazing what you may have found out, huh? So let's test with kinesiology. So if you're not familiar with kinesiology and how to do the test in the previous testing your beliefs exercise, then let's go ahead now and talk about kinesiology. Your awareness grounded in your I am and in your heart space. So you can use that sinking into your heart space exercise there. Just back into and sink into that bubble there. And aligning it with your 0-point light cord. So you know your answers are your own. And use discernment when choosing which statements to test. Some have emotional weight. And your powerful emotional body can answer the question, overriding your subconscious. So muscle testing taps into your subconscious. Right? So bring your attention into your body and fill it with earth energy, drawing it up from the feet. And tell your body what is your yes and what is your no. You can say, my name is, you can say your real name and see if you get a yes there. And you can test it, my name is, and somebody else's name, and see if you get a no with that. Now, some people use a pendulum. If you do choose to do that, use a wood one. It doesn't absorb energy from your surroundings as a metal or a crystal one can. And if your awareness is in someone else's body, you will be getting answers from their energy and not your own. Okay. Now, I don't recommend using a pendulum because what if you're not completely clear? What if there is spirits hanging out in your field or hanging out around you? You're not aware of it. Let's just say that someone's not going to blow that pendulum and make it swing another way, right? Yeah, absolutely. So I recommend using your own hands, your own fingers. Okay, this is what I recommend, and that's been proven very successful that it works. So say, I am my I am. And put your attention into the center of your chest and say, I am in my heart space. And say, 0. Say 0 ground. And then say 0 source. See an orb of energy 6 feet above your head. And allow it to drop down into your solar plexus. Breathe in and out a few times. Allowing the energy to expand out from within your body. You are using a pendulum to begin with. You can hold it in your right hand and dangle it over your left hand. Seated hand, palm open. Your energy responds to your words, either amplifying or retracting, which causes the pendulum to move. Or using your fingers, which is my preferred method. Finger over finger method. I use my right hand because that is the hand I write with, and that is the best way to get information. Using your dominant hand. And set your intention on who you want to communicate with. I always say my higher self. Higher self knows it. Now let's start with, I love myself. Do you get a yes or do you get a no? Let's write that down. I hate myself. Do you get a yes or a no? I love God. Yes or no? I hate God. Yes or no? Money is evil. Yes or no? Women should be seen and not heard. Yes or no? Journal our responses. You are now powerful beyond means. You can now know your own truth that our bodies know. Ask your body anytime you're required to make a choice. Ask it if it's beneficial for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning yes, very beneficial, 1 meaning no, not at all. And use it while driving. Right? So if we do things that are against our body's intelligence, the universe may try to block you with distractions, for example. So when you try to do that thing that is not beneficial for you. So this is your electromagnetic field pushing back because you're going against the flow and your body's consciousness. So taking driving as an example, some people get what they call road rage, or they allow other things to trigger them and set them off, right? So if you just went with the flow of traffic, your flow, asking your higher self to, help me drive. You drive for me. Point me in the right direction. Show me which way is the best. Show me where there's not an accident or congestion. I'll turn off on the exit. I'm not sure why. That's what we need to do. Okay, fine. Not going to fight it. Stay on there because no, that can't possibly be right. And then finding out later on, well, maybe I should have turned off. Right? So don't go against the flow and push back against your own electromagnetic field, which is your body's consciousness. So when we communicate with the body, we can shape it to wanting what we want or to follow what it wants and live a happier life. So we're going to use some quantum activations now, and we're going to do some clearing. Now, the first thing that you want to look at if you're having trouble with muscle testing is some type of interference. So it could be entity interference, right? It could be alien interference, or it could even be another spirit that has walked into your body. Okay? These are things that can be affecting your effectiveness for muscle testing. So let's check right now to see if that is the case for you. So let's muscle test to see if that's the case. And if, obviously, if you have interference or another spirit that has walked into your body, you may not be getting it correct, yes or no there, right? But find out first if you have these things, and we can clear them. So let's do a clearing for muscle testing. So being able to use your own hands, muscles, and your truth, and getting accurate information from your muscle testing 100% of the time. Letting go of anything in the way of that. So here are what would be considered interfering programs. We want to clear all of these. Okay, we've got things considered in our bloodline, Lucifer stops, soul contracts, demonic curses, evil spirit curses, satanic curses, black magic, curses, cycles, medical control energy, shared energy, atheist thought forms, cords, emotions, DNA of others, and resets, contract and agreements, trauma, and karma. The right to have our own experiences. There's also emotional anchors. Okay, so envy.
So I know you haven't, received all the charts to be able to know, what all of these things are to clear. However, just knowing that these are the things, and I think I sent you a Word doc and the attachments with this exact same thing. So it is the chart that shows you this is the clearing. So I'm going to go back to.
I have a question about all this.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're doing the muscle testing with your hands, is a yes with more pressure, or is it? I can't figure out the difference. Like I'll get pressure, but I don't know. In other words, what's a yes and what's a no?
Okay, so you tell your body what's a yes. Okay, so let's program it like right now. So go ahead, like what this picture shows, with the middle finger over the index finger, and then say your name. My name is,
and then just say Marlene, and then see what happens. If the finger kind of drop, okay, let's back up. Let's tell your body what your yes is. Okay, so holding your finger really stiff. My name is Marlene. That should not drop. It should just stay. It should stay stiff, right? So this is my yes. 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 Demand your body knows what it is. This is my yes. All right. Now here, I actually have. What is this? This is cornstarch. I was like, what is this? Like getting baking powder, but no, it's cornstarch. And so, like, sometimes, especially here in Arizona, we can get a little sticky or whatever. So sometimes your fingers are gonna not be as slick as you'd want them to be. So, putting a little cornstarch on them can actually help you there. But so telling your body, this is my yes, this is my yes, this is my yes, and then doing this and just showing that weakness. This is my no. This is my no. This is my no. This is my no. It won't hold. It just goes limp, right? So this is my no. 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 And you continue to command your body. This is what I want you to show me. If it's a no, I want that weakness. If it's a yes, I want stiff, 100% stiff, that I know that this is my yes. Okay, this is my yes. You're commanding your body now, and you're telling it what you expect for it to perform for you. So now, now this does take some practice, a little bit of practice. So every day, do this every day. Okay, it only gets better with time, and over time, you won't even need to do this. You'll just get it, right? Because or you
forward and the backward. I can do the muscle, arm. I can do those easily. They come easy. This is kind of strange because you try. So I understand what you're saying, though. The
yes.
pressure, if it's pressure, if you train your fingers and everything's strong, it's a yes, like this. And if it's weak, then your hand will go down, sort of, right?
Yeah, the actual finger will drop. It's not going to hold. Yeah, it's not going to hold because I'm getting now. My name's Bill. Huh?
It feels like my wrist drops when I say no.
You can certainly, yeah, yeah. Well, but you need to tell your body how you want it to react. So
yeah, because that would be easier for me because I feel strength in my hands for yes, and then no would mean that the fingers and the wrist drop.
Yeah, so tell your body if that's what you want your no to be, so that your whole whatever would drop, then you can tell your body, this is my no, this is my no, this is my no, however it feels.
I've tried the pendulum. It doesn't work for me. I've tried the pendulum. So, to me, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I was like that too, Linda, and I never really did get the pendulum to work correctly for me. And I see, what if you don't have a pendulum? Now you're looking for stuff outside of your body that, oh, now I can't get my answers, because of something outside of myself. So you're giving this thing power, whereas your body knows. Your body can tell you. You don't need stuff outside of you. So this is why we do it this way, because it's that tactical feeling, and because you're not able to feel what that little spinning thing is. I've got one here somewhere, but oops. I've got one here somewhere, but I don't use it because I can't put my feeling into that little thing. That's not me, right? Mm-hmm. So the thing is you have everything. And I think that first video says you are the tool, right? We are that tool. We don't need to go outside of ourselves and put trust into something else, because I have seen it that's not. And how do you know that that's the answer that spinning is giving you is really correct, right? But your body, that tactical feeling, will be more accurate in the long run. But now there's people who say, no, I get 100% accuracy with the pendulum. So I guess it could be individual if that's the way they were trained, and over the years that has really come honed in. Okay, I get that. And if that's the way it is for you, then that's the way it is. However, it just seems to be that you're spending more time digging it out, getting it to do something, and then, okay, you're dropping it. Now you're picking up your pen and writing, or now you're picking it back up again. It just seems like it's cumbersome, a lot more work. But anyway, this is the clearing, and this is what we will say, you know, that we are going for. This is what we're going for. Whatever it is that we're wanting is the part of the clearing that we're stating. So we want that right, we want that permission, we want that ability to own our hands and our muscles and our truth, to be able to get accurate information from our muscle testing 100% of the time. So letting go of any kind of, you know, control, malice, hatred, any unforgiveness, deception, disappointment, bitterness, domination, suppression, all that. So what could possibly be in the way? What could be blocking that? Well, these are programs that could potentially be blocking that for you. Now, they don't have to be every single one of these. You can muscle test to say, is bloodline blocking that for me? I'm getting no because I've already cleared this. But for you, you could potentially say, yeah, bloodline is in the way, a block, right? So, so you could then start creating a chart. So your chart, you would put bloodline on it, right? Lucifer stops. Is that in the way for me? And you could get a yes, put that one on your chart. Is soul contracts in the way of what I want to clear? It could be yes. Yeah, then you could even count how many soul contracts have I made. Soul contracts are like your agreements with the darkness, some form of darkness, whatever it happens to be. It could be over like 100 different lifetimes back. But you've made some type of agreement with the dark side to give them some type of control over your life or your situations or your experiences of some sort, right? So there could be thousands, there could even be in the millions of soul contracts here. So if you're getting like,
but that's if your finger stays up, it means that it isn't, right? If you're holding your finger up like that and it doesn't slide off, then everything is clear, right?
well, no, that just means yes. So whatever you're asking. So, okay, so do I have soul contracts? If I'm getting it staying stiff, then yeah, there's soul contracts. Okay, how many? Is there more than 10? Yes. More than 100? Yes. More than 200? Yes. Okay, so you can continue on until it drops. Okay, so there's 1,250, then it drops. Okay, so put down 1,250. So now you know that's how many you need to clear to be able to get accurate muscle testing. Yeah, same way with the curses. Now there's curses that can be involved with all kinds of things that could be blocking us from all sorts of good stuff in our life, right? So demonic curses, yes or no? Write it down. And then I'll go into what all these things mean here in a little bit, but just for now, just know that these are the things that we will test, yes or no. If it's yes, put it on your chart and then clear it. So by clearing it, you're doing the swirl and sending beautiful gold energy into it to clear it away. You're also asking your higher self to assist you in clearing this. So by doing that, you're going to be getting this cleared a lot more quicker. But if you don't do it, just putting in the gold energy too is going to eventually clear it. So clearing it quicker by involving your higher self, because they know where to go to get this resolved, right? They've got the connections. Go ahead.
Do you clear everything at the same time, or just one?
Well, it's best if you go one by one. Okay, because if you just say, oh, everything in general, okay, I'm getting 98%, 99%, 100% of everything. Okay, great. That may be, but going back into it, just say, oh, soul contracts, okay, I guess I didn't get to 100% on soul contracts. Yeah, I do everything individual because I want to make sure that that bloodline is cleared 100%, not just the whole program 100%, because it could be that things kind of slipped through the cracks somewhere and you didn't really get to 100%. Yes, I do everything. I want to make sure everything is clear. So these are interfering programs. They're in these. A lot of this stuff is in amplification, the realm of amplification, which we'll get into. The next chart is showing also amplification, but okay, shared energy, you're sharing energy with another person. Atheist thought forms, meaning that you're not so sure, you don't believe maybe whether I can do this, whether this is the truth. Something's stopping you. It's in your perception. Your thoughts are stopping you from allowing this to happen. Cords, that's an energetic cord between you and another person that could potentially get in the way. Emotions, we already mentioned DNA contracts, agreements with others, past life contracts and agreements even. Maybe we did this before in another life, and then we were caught and persecuted, whatever it happened to be, punished some way. Okay, you need to stop this. You need to agree right now that you will never be doing this again. Okay, I agree. You know, okay, you made an agreement, right? Even though maybe you didn't want to say that, you were under the gun or whatever, whatever it happened to be at that time, to go ahead and tell them you agree with them, you know, just so that you won't get killed this time or whatever. I'm talking out of experience here, but so there could be several different agreements. Now, contracts is more of a written thing, so maybe a marriage contract or who knows what. Traumas, they could be past traumas, karma, and so forth. So these are all things, and we'll go over more in detail, but these are all things that can block.
You have to do this every day to clear this?
No, once you've cleared yourself, this should be cleared. But if you feel like, hey, something's off with my muscle testing, then you can maybe go back to this chart and just see, is there something that maybe I didn't get 100%? Something, or maybe I didn't test. Maybe there was another emotion here that's not on this chart. Maybe there was something else. So when you get all the charts, you can go through every single thing on the charts. Maybe there was something for you that wasn't on this main clearing chart that I've charted out. Maybe there's something more. And you'll find that, clear that, and then, but yeah, no, this should be permanent. And then emotional, okay, envy, guilt. And then these are the anchors. So for envy, you want to check then agreements, karma, and evil spirits. For guilt, you want to also check for satanic curses, timelines, energetic and mental karma. Resentment, if there is, then check for that in your bloodline and so forth. So, but if you're finding deception, okay, great. Put that on your chart, and then know that you have to clear deception, and then clear your bloodline around deception, clear evil spirit curses that is maybe causing the deception or trauma and so forth. So just clear each one until you get them up to 100% clear. Unforgiving, fear, overwhelm, pride, sorrow, and disappointment. Let's check.
So Marlene, about that point, so that means, let's say deception, you clear deception and then you clear each item in the line, that each emotion? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you clear, make sure that, you know, yeah, the bloodline's cleared around deception. Yeah, exactly. So it can be a little bit of a project here, but well worth it. Okay, because these are things that want to interfere with you and your practice, your business, right? So these, you get serious with this stuff. These are demand that go.
Well, you know, we've talked, and you know, I have a son who has this, who's in the hospital. You know, he has a bloodline that I know that has issues. So yeah, I can clear that even with him here in this lifetime.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So if you find something that is a block for him, it's in his bloodline, then you're going to do the swirl thing, and you're going to intend that now you are moving the particles around in the bloodline so that they are clearing out, dissolving, right? So, and then check, okay, I'm getting nothing left, right? Nothing, 0, I'm getting no. So am I 100%? Yeah, 80, 98, 99, 100%, yeah.
And then where do you send this, like if you've come across this demonic and dark stuff, where do you send it to?
We're not sending it anywhere. We are transforming the energy around it. So we are transforming it from, the darkness to the light. essentially is what we're doing by sending in this beautiful gold God healing energy, right? So that automatically, when you flip the light switch on, the darkness goes away.
Thank
So
you.
we're flipping on the light. Yeah. We're bringing light into the body. We're bringing light into the cells. We're bringing light into the energy. And that energy then transforms into the perfection of the divine or what have you. So, so yeah, that's where you're going with this. There's a little bit more, looks like there's another page here. Yeah, so the anchors then are the things that can be left in place, like a homing device, if you will, after you've cleared out mostly from dark energies. They can leave implants or seeds or things there, so that if you don't clear them out, then they can come back to this homing device, come in through that seed or anchor or implant and come back in, right? So you want to make sure that the anchors are also cleared out. And we'll get into this more later, just knowing that this is the chart for the clearing chart for muscle testing is all we needed to know right at this moment. And then there can be things in the realm of amplification, which is like the law of attraction. So things that can come to us, whether they're positive or negative, or if you believe in the positive or negatives or whatever, but seemingly negative things or seemingly positive things. So things on your emotional timelines, you want to clear them. Cycles, things that can cycle back around again, like it's on a loop or some kind of pattern. It keeps coming back. Like, why is it every year I get da 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 da? Could be clearing something on cycles. You want to clear that. Seeds, embedding. So these are anchors in amplification. So these are anchors as well, but these are anchors inside of the realm of amplification. So you're just checking all of them.
Palladium embedding?
Embedding, yeah.
Palladium?
Yeah, there can be, yeah. There can be some other and alien stuff, and we'll get into it more later, but just know that it exists. It's there. It's real. Yeah, and then interfering spiritual influences. This is, we want to make sure we cover everything, right? Because a lot of different stuff out there doesn't want us to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so once we cleared this stuff, now we won't be bothered, by these things, at least for the muscle testing. If you wanted to do a chart around doing my business, now I do have that. It's on a chart I think I sent to you with suppression, control, domination. And then the second sheet of that, page 2, there was a clearing and it said about, my business and, so that I'm able to do this work and so forth. So it was a separate chart just like this, similar to these items here. But, and then, so these are entity attachments or whatever, things that, or darkness. So any type of aliens, then there's all these other spiritual entities that they could be possibly messing with you and your accuracy.
So Marlene, this is just for, we're doing this as a chart for clearing ourselves permanently for interferences for muscle testing. But let's say you're working with, well, yourself or a family member or client about anything, whatever they come to. You might be looking at similar things to clear, but is that permanent too once it's cleared for that person?
Yes.
It's permanent. Okay. It doesn't come back and get another.
No, it doesn't. For the thing that you're clearing. Now, there's still maybe stuff in their bloodline around something else, but we're not working in that. So you can still you may still have to clear bloodline many different times for whatever it is that you're clearing.
Okay, different areas. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's a lot. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, and then also then for the clearing that we said, anything affecting the or blocking our ability to get 100% accuracy on our muscle testing, you can also do a clearing then. Instead of that, you can do the clearing on anything blocking the ability to own your body. And I like to add on there anything that is blocking your boundaries, because we find that entity attachments come into the field if we are not in our body or owning our body or owning our boundaries. Okay, so that would be another clearing. You can add that to the boundaries to this. Another clearing would be ability to get 100% accurate body information from your body, or to remove suppression. And I have domination control. I have that PDF I think I sent to you that had the clearings on what to clear to remove these three: control, suppression, and then ownership of your muscles at all times. So these are things you can chart out yourself. Now I gave you the charts for domination, suppression, whatever, but then you can say, okay, so ownership of my muscles, I think that we already included that in the muscle testing. I think it was already there. Telepathy. So this is the ability to send messages from your mind to another person, or getting that information like that sonar, like the dolphins do, getting it from other people. So you can say, well, what would be clear, what would be blocking my ability to have this telepathy? And you may come up with similar things from the chart before, or other stuff. The chart could be even smaller now, so that you've already cleared certain items from the muscle testing. So maybe it's just a shorter chart, you know, you'll see what comes up. But yeah, so these are all other clearings then that you can participate in yourself. Oh, so this is the right permission, ability to own your telepathy. We were just talking about. So this is kind of a example. Letting go of domination, suppression, and control, evil spirit curses, trauma, atheist thought forms, and agreements. So these are already charted out for you, telepathy. So yeah, so that how telepathy can come in: the center of the head, the eyes, sinus, upper chest, and you know, the heart center. But it's not necessary to know all that. But okay, so oops. Hydration. Okay, so let's stop here and take a lunch break. I think it's a good time to do that. Or let's just take a half an hour if that's okay with you. If you need more time, you know, take it. There's going to be a replay, so you can, you know, get that. But since we have so much information, maybe just a half an hour would be good. And come back in half an hour from now if you want to just mute yourself, turn off your video, so that you can quietly come back when you are, you know, if you're a little bit after everybody else. So let's do that. Take a stretch, get something to eat, go outside, drink some water, and refresh, and we'll come back in a half an hour then, okay? Sounds good. See you later. Oh, if you're still there, you guys, it's the new link. We're going to come back on. We're going to come back on that new link. I'll send you an email.